te non koy dai ko koy ke bepeng ni yokola aguer wona kol chalwel ci wo luitin yenin ke yen ka ci wo ben live ni yemen ku bakapeng te non koy ke tu ke betaw ni yokola malech ci ko gawo ma ni zaman tin yen ci ro loy fa bear with me ku loyda abula de shortly fa loy ki share we koy ke beben ku koy ke bien ping ke betaw ni show ni yokola we cha ke lor ku we cha ke mot an mo biodana ngo cha ke wet cha labi loy ki share in ka kala batie no we share it please loy ki share e yana pet chan ba ke ping ku ba ngi yong lo ro ni yokola ke ka gwer de lotwen de bai yen nga wede luel bi ka ping panen ai jam na dol waj ken wel ke yoku ke luel ci man jaman showi wana wek ni yemen fa keran yen beben twen ni yokola chan shoda abi ja dia ke twen ato arway ron yang ngor yen ka beben ku yen ka buket ku diat ka baga ke ping abu ke playtan ku ka baga ke ping eran twen ran beben ni yechuk baden ngadi yen ka beben yechuk garang uh, garang chut yen ka beben yechuk ku ka ba wede abaga ping aya kana business base ku ke information de kor bi ka ngi ne luai re ka ye kol yen ka be share kana work ku yen ka baga ping na non ka bu kai kon ka bin ni ye wadi ka yen ka kor brom kana work pa wede ka betaw ya no we ko bo loy ka share please ku be information kan bula bi tok de baden abiya long da an emergency ni biag de junub to tui yen ka ba we ka ke ka lo rut yuar dana wan a chetaw kwer awal ka ba ka dil jot eman miya te non kek ku biya wa ka de non wok non koy kok ka ke ka bro loy ai kane yen ke update de yemen ku yen ka wetwen yen lo ba kon lwel pa ke diat ka ba ke taw ku we cha ke mo pa ke we dia we koy ke to ke be ping ku be dai ku bi ku be dai ten we cha ke mo ku we cha ke lor lo ki share please kene yen ke yen wo be jola twen ten an chi be ga waret aba laptop right away ku bage kene abu ku jo yo kwer chamo manyang welcome bro big chamo welcome Yena pith we chake mop ku we chake lech yen ke yena kan lo ye ka chukuliep to ka chiko jitan ku yen ke la twengda yen ke gol de lon de yaman tay yen kan pa keda ke lo lui frozen I don't know yung lo routine but we will deal with it somehow yen to know we ko ke dai ku ko ke ping ko ke chiban chalwelwen mana de ke yen elondan when chalwel mana de wo benang ngadi ni yaman tay wo benang show yen ka chi wo bentin ku yen ka lui wo ni yemen pa kana yen ka be agol de ye kana chalwel wen lwel ran be ket ni ye kola ato torwan yak nyane twi ku ke tingo bor ku karer kana wo kutan ni Vancouver to Pacific taban North America nong time zone tok koy ka America kadia nong no North America yen chol Canada ku US enang different time zone ku state kai way based na time yen chitao pa ka kera ni Pacific ka to na Vancouver uh, Canada Vancouver aero nong Washington kwa nong Canada British Columbia yen ka ti chiang yen ka ti tawan tin pa ka ke yen zaman na bilogalo ka ka ba benyal ku ka buweg mot ku bugu loida bugu jogol chow ka jwech achana nwan ka chikut bai no wok kani ye kana ye nga logo loy kan ku nga logo loy kan ku ke weekdays ya ku pinya chelo pa kana abaram wona we kene wet pa we ko ke chiben ke dai ku ko ke ping please we ke share ku be wet be ko be ke yo na non ko bu lo join ke yana ka ku gan be ato ba jo bay ato na long de ay chol man kur deng man rock ku ke da chwek nyan de nyak payam nyan twi te ka ku ye na ba jo bay ku wet de ba ka ping to ngen wo chi ba gaw la tweng de yen ka bula ni wari panan incha welcome ku incha mo na time zaman cha yen road ku bu ku lom ku bu ku loy wodia ni ye ko lo ko ke bepeng ku yin na ben chin ben ka yin cha lor ni ye man biag da kut ka wok enang ran loy da lieptok kul mayom ran ke taw na taw ben garanga jak wen ke ka lebiyin welcome of which I'm sure abayo aya shan kan TV the community loy loy kutin e kada wodia akaye nga enang longde ku tradition da kan ke kada wodia anache ran chiriyin kanong idea dan kor ben ko beke ngade beke mop ku beko beke le ke dan kor be le ko ke kayo ku lor ku yin ku zaman chir ke kor go wedan taw be taw no ko nim ku bi ko bi ka ping akene yen ke ro loy na loy dai jitan ayen yin cha lor welcome and feel free bakoj bakek mop ku na ken cha ben twen ne golde ke ka bangor ke be ben ella na cha ka ta le yin tok ku bajal ke ran tong da kut abe ben ku ka bi yin le wede chan kan ke panda ku ka ko le bab ka pye bu yi le bab ba ben tin ku ba bela bi welcome in chapeng you ku clear
Hani nyani yo man ruwa yo dor mutu yi kod jale. Hani din ge bal mutu yi kod jale. Gal bando ramu kod jale ge. Ora bale unu bale diye paru ya ma unu ben ma biuru nganyi chola kol unu banyaruga. Ma jere gaya ka kwalo manyang kwalo biara kol unu no kande ni ma unu banya ka kwalo mayandere banya belaliat. Yom no ma biuru nganyi. Yala ke de ma de gangi ya panu kutyo nyamu ka jwar pe ya jena lal ke. Ajawa jada kura yina gatanga kunele la ile mana nyanka jere mana malan. Ajaw de no dia ina gatanga kujya jere ile mana nyanka jere mana malan. Ijawa nyana ulo jale ngali juiri jegaran tu kubeno kutyo nyeben nyane joro bora chawa kurumayal. Nyane jale nyane unde kitu. you wrote you every you know the my beauty then I know my beauty what you wrote you every you know the my father what you wrote you every you know the my beauty when you chill out no then I know what you wrote you every you know the my beauty when you chill out no
Loye drop bajo beduti dengina. Young nama biru wen bajang ku, alala gana de ngajara wir ka pandara dia, we pakai keni manu botyo nyawa wajah. Ama botyo jadi kone nyinga juar bo, we pakai keni manu botyo nyawa wajah. Young nama biru wen bajang ku, alala gana de ngajara wir ka pandara dia, we pakai keni manu botyo nyawa wajah. Hey, na piet we cha ke be mot wo chinang network difficulty amat chinang hiccup tin chiro loitan pa abngor ke be duktin ye na tok na che ben ko bula twing from there. Welcome, Manan.
Thank you.
I think
Ayan ko lapin unde.
in good.
Okay. Thank you.
Nang hiccup
Ko cha jam chứ mình nó jam ku. Chiều thế.
you know.
Yeah.
Hey, na
Okay.
welcome, welcome.
Uh,
Tin ka che dur ngadi yini cha cholwen kulwela yin be ben ke hiccup tin won chiro loy yana kan yana ka kinin ja pen ko nang we ko ke dai cha le we wen mana de yen ki chol ran e ko ni chokaro to arwai e nyan da chwek ku panaden e ko jale longe yana ka bien jo tol ni yen ku yana ka nong ene diar te ke won ke chi wo ke yen gol tan ku be ka ke kwanden ku ka ke tui ku ko ni er ke ni er en loy den a bi jo ben ye ka ke chok pa kene ye ne ka be agol de loy da ni yemen abu gol wu ya chan be zaman be che lo ziada ku ba ke jo pen to ngen welcome.
thank you un deng achul. Mabior dana ngin chale. Các bạn nên con gol ai bi wet kwa ka ba ke mot. Ne luai te ke yi ke chol ko loi ka kul mayo. Ne ngona ye lo dir ke na badai ka che le ga pet or chin achira dal pet la be. Te chin lo ra badai. Yen luai ke loi na ta to ben. Ye ke chol ke loi support ni chol pa ne tui or ni tv pa ne tui. Chan ke le ku ka cha ke mot e luoi e wer bi wa chicken ke tuen da balwel aku nam de twi idara mu la bulu manyong duat ayana ka ba mot ku yana ka ba lej na wi er pie ci ko loy yana ka yana yer wa ta chan benen ka pie biran be lwel ku benen ka pie biran jwa ku benen ka pie biran lum tin ya da a cha le charit ku ka cha ke mot kana ku nim ken ci ka kwany ta tin ke de diak e yin bi rodana ngam yine ka ba mot yine ka ba lej ne luoy te ki chirat gam ne pa ne tuinom ba ya but ko loy ne ta to ko ben ku ba ran ya ti ne ke den ye luel ke den kor ku den beloy e ke te ke charit no ngin luoy do chi pa ne tui chi gam te ke charit no wa kwa ye oi no wan me chi man to wa tan wa ya ta ro ne ya yene ke ran chi wa lu ya la wa ta chan ba ke pe du hun kor ba luel ku ke dun kor ba loy ku ke dun kor ba nyot ya da e pial de loy duan a chi tu ye gam me loy te ke charit ta bu ya dun ne er ba ben ku ka ne ar ku pa yo ku kor a chan bi nga ke tin de ento ne pyo bi ala luel ti we chira an ben a cha ke loy ala ot a chan ben nga ke de ala luel ye met ye randi ye pinan ye and kor bi jam e cha ke loy ala ot ke te ke dot na wa ko to ku wa ye member ka pa ne tu a lej wo wek or a lej and wek with you yen rin chen bro wow rin chen bro wow ane chola thar wen yak ane chola thar wen yak ane nya di de pa ne tui ni gor nyak pa ne choy da chwek ane nyan poy pa ne luol pa ngor yak ene ke te di ta tin kana ti chen ga ti ak tin an ti ti ak e jora toj ko no bait pa ndi e jor bion jor ana man kur deng chiang ko e yen ke pa ndi kana an chi an ko chi no ma bi da na ne ga ba ti an ga ba ja ti thank you
ye na pet ne tna we we ko ke dai ku ko ke ping ku ko be bela ping ato akan a chelong de a chelwel ne sif yin ba chola ya man kur tna we ko ke ping loida na no wer ko nga belwel penena chi a jamaret ne diari a wel ye ke lwel ay ko ja pyo ashanu ke ban ke chol music a therapy of life ko ay ke warning ko ay ke chamit pyo ko ay ke entertain be mia beto ku yen ga yen pya na nong din tie ke to ko yen ga yen lor ga dier ni yen kene ke ke ro loit no wo ne wede ye ko yen chi wo ben ke chi ato arwai ci bay ku luel e ko wel ke ci ka ket ne dia di ka kor ke present non ki ku ka taw ni chok ye kana e na no ran ci pyom ya ne ke ci luel ku ran ci ma ke loy ke kana ke ma ke twi e nya ne twi ku yen ke presentation de inga che bay manyang chol thank you manyang kan a ci in support the $200 manyang chol do kene
thank you
yene ke loy yen to wotin yene ke ye loy kuin da baya ya na long to mi ada pio de din chi bay ku la twen de ka loy ke dia ai chat ku kai to na loy to fa ai kene yene ke le ba jowek ku ba ka ping wa ya chan wo loy je aret ke ye na nong din ba ta wutan din chen ma de chen lai nom ku ke din ngi lo ko yi do pet tiet ke anan bo chani chengu cha ki jo to pandun ayen edin de dor edin ran on ki loy ku ke te re jo ngi lu ja pet fa ding rong na nyang I believe e paneden kan yin melena akwa ja ya melena koy wena wai long ja kui bade ma le ben whether ye wena wai koy wena nyan kui ke ma le ben
Ayan, ewan wai dia ting.
aywa
Ya kwede ngor ku yang ngor ya.
aywa yena kan ben pona gwin ache chi liop tok ne ngadi ne $100 e ke ngi to so
Okay.
ne tonongin yin yin panan atok yin che ket ne ye diar ke I believe yin on ki chi diar ke tier ku diar ke tier ku diak a chu ku ke be play ke dia chan ke de ka le forever ke batiech e interest de ke chi yen ke chi ja pyo ba dia chi ka ba ke bay ku big bi bai be ke ping no ngin ye kol a chan kriye ben nan ke nga kwen luon de ani ye lo yi chok chan panen a nong nga ka long de ni diari in le ba camera do le ba lep china feel comfortable ba den ku ba ke wel ku ba ke ber pa ke ni en ke kar ba thiech ti no ngin ku bi ko e ke ping sharp yen dai be ping aya
Hello, kan you are quick man. Kabar lai.
in aywa you are back you do chi na
Uh,
network
yeah.
luin
An lo kan chol ma bio dawa ku chen man ta lai fa ja ku to ba le kan che ta an che kan acha tano obun ma sen ja ku ba le di
cha ka panan ja jam wo ko chwe to ping we wo. Okay, I believe to che chol several call la ka chi en team. Wo bla wo la twen ko wo lui dear play ku ka ba du tin bo wo der. Welcome back.
ke chiri la
Yen long ka ba wan ten ku yin ba welcome back yin cha ti wen a cha le le la ki chol panan ran chol panan ben ran ke wel ke ay ka le diari bi ko jola ngadi kan na bia part interview ma baneng long ba ya lu answer no ngen ku ka ke chi ja pyo ke chi yin jala na kete ba diat chir ke ka ke cha na nong diar ba ben ba den diar wen ba jar num nyal diara ku pion ku tau chiman ya ku yen ta kana work United States kan chiman de un bai un ter ti ki de pan da chwek chirman yi panyang ku ko rili ke kwat ko wen yeran ke kre kulde ye loy ku yego ye ko na bai pa ko ke ti yen ke lai nim tin chan be nga we de ping yong ti ke ye loy ke ye neran ye loy ai ke pion ku ka che ti ya kara yong ya loy ke yeran ting chiman duon ke cha ting ku chiman ko ke che lo ne diere bi diet ken ko be ben ba den tok a chu go ben long ya biar ko chir ke ka ke chi ja pyo chan ba ket be ben ke kor ba loy go chap go ping.
Thank you mabir da. Yen ke tande kene yi ke chati nongen aban ke nge abalwen. Ke chol ket chol baya ket baya pinan. Ket nong ngi kang ke wan te angen. Anong ke chol dueng ke dueng an ba dueng. Ke dero anong ke chol bajam. Te chinen we yin ke dun to ni pyo yin ko ra chan ba lwe ka lwel ni we ya chan bi ba ya ping ke dero ke da diak tam time ran dang albe ket ne diar ke ran won ni ar ke pye won che loy na ran won ye we ke lui ka ye lwe le wera a chan bi ran bi ngi man ke nang ke pye loy or bi bai be ping e ke da diak ke da wan na ta ko ka ya ting wan a chan ngon na man an pel nyan wan bai aya ting na ta ko ran dang albe ka ire pyo de albe loy ne we won bene tiaga chan ngo ke chol ba bien ran di ya kadang ya kit ta da ore ya twar example la chro loy to nong ran da chwe ke chol tor de ngal wala yo nge ke nang ti chi tor jalwan pa ne chol ka kuma ke la
Tor
pa
ma
de
ya
pakang tor ma yam ke la pa de pakang guria na wan lo tor ke ta wan ti ten mi ka chan bi mi ka bi ke di taxi ki ri ai ke ti se pakang guria ke kenya ka ko ter ku tor ka chunga duri chok tok go kenya go ben kenya ke matatu ye tet jueri go ben bajran to jor karaj kuran to ke chuk de tor kuran to ke bek ku je tor wan gi tor ci ben twar ke chuar pa ne chol pa kanguria ken tinga na wan ka ci sudani da ci ben ping ko kai la gwer no ngai ken ting ka ke ai ka ben kun ne chin ka mi ka ngor wei ci ben na ci ben yu ke ci bai kun pan den wan jam tong de ken ting ga no wan ci ben ala loy tor ki pan wei jo ti ma yam ka yo ngi twar ka nya bi ka nya ping di gol weli yo ram mi ko ana dia o le ken din ran di ken lole ka din ran di lole ka din ci gwe din ci dal patwa lole wan twara nga chen ya jo ben ping kan ting lole ran di ci diaw ci met na diaw ci met ki na yong ama de na diaw ko wan ne dit e diu kan ting e kene kira loy yin ban ma biur daw ko ku ku diar kia ne ka cha ke an yar ke chol pit chan bu ko neng pit an yar rit ai pi di e ka to kene ne kene mini jara ra pin a chan ngu ke chol dit baran ker ni dit a chai do nyar ama na gudwan yen ni ler ba ku chi nyir chi dier wen ben ka ko ker chi ke ker kana ro mo na nyir ra ba dier ba kriyo be ke che ket ke dier ka kana ting e na ko pion anen ke pe ra loy ka ya nyar balwel ni dit ago ke de to ki chi bidim ku be pio ya mi ya da ku be loy de bi jwa ne ke pe wen ye loy kana to kana dier ki aka cha ke na ko support dier ke support mi ko unda aya ke support achan bi cái loy pi win ya wo cái loy ka pan da lo de ra chan ngwan men an pel nyen bai pa ni jing an yar ba an yar du ba ret kan ting kana yan kal cha wala nam ba ya ne yar kan ting wo ke ya pio nya chan ba ke support e ke mi ku kai ke pi da chi ka ke ngo ba loy e ba ka we chan ke chol baran we ke te ke do ta yen e ran tim ora bu ko exam ne ke ye chol
Totally.
thon ko wan bai ku chi
Lot wing.
a anen kri ji bena kor we yin ma biur da kri ji bena kor we chen ke che support ke te ke dot aye kri ji bena yen tim gut ke ni we ye support kana ting ku biran bi use chan briel thon ko wa na rom ka ye un ka ko ne ton de chu ku un ka ton de ku be ka we chan be ton be tim a chen ke che we kri ji bena ye we kana ting a gut lo dan wan ye wo lu ka kwon ka lo ya yo ko support na neng pur ka ye ter to ka chan mo mot ba pur hie e support kan o na lo mai toy ku neng bi ka ye dug ni timril or wairi la chan bi chela doang ni chinala e ke cho support aga ke chan neng example ga ka ke gwiri tin support chimi da kai kwa loy ke wel ka wo wel woni bai ku kai mi aka ka bi ka ko gon ka mu ka chen ku ko ka jot ke wan ka ler ka roki ke ye je jamer abi ke nyin jala pel roki a ku pi ada bai chi ke ngi wo ko ngi bai wa lo ben bai wo chi nyin pel ai tin an bo bai ka nang run ka tir ku datem an bo ka ngi kri chi ben ra loy bai ngi ku na to ku na ngadot chi dai na ngadot kan ku e ka ka ngi ke ka pet ana yem met ye bai ye remember ka ya ni ara chan balle ka pi loy chan be benang riel ku be ngi mana ka nang ka pi loy yen ke te diar ke kan wel tin kan an wunda ya support ku an panda ne choi tui aya support a good pandi jor bor aya support ku ke pan da ya da nan ran ben anan ke ben nom ka ya support yen ke loy yen kan ke dia support thank you
Yen a pit. Shukran. Yen ke lot wing aka. Door. Ku ngi chiang ke kai kwat. Kuony. Ku yelia kere chan bran be koi kuny. Ke kai cha the tokaya. Least the support. Din near chiman din when ye jolul abiar kai in a bi bor. Angi chawarit. Din the chiang din ran mahat karan. Ku yen ka non ka wen de cha ke luelten. Fa support to non we ko ke chiban. Apa jong bul. Pa jong chola kwak.
kwak
100. Kwak mucho.
yeah kwak
Chola kwak pa jong chola kwak. Che 100 che tao. Yen ke chẳng ai chola daw. A chiliep tok ni yakana. Ne the same $100. So a great support. So joan jata within ku kaninga ba ju dil sharo. apia ba joping chui ga ret ne din tar. So yeah, inje wila cha ke lwel ga ni man tawan tan ka ma biro daw an chir microphone le will ke lwel ke jam wo tin ay ka ke tui ke ka lwel ku lazim nan ran bi wer be ni to be lo chapin ko acha describe exactly chimane de ka ye ku ke loy lwel chimane ka be na la wa ko na ta tin be ben ba den a be ke lwel ku ka bu ke be ler bi ten kene yen ke kwer tek yen ka kon ke ka bai yen ke lo bi ne ne ye wet dai du ku piat de ke che gwer yong cha woi ne loy da ku taw ka wo ka ten shan aye lwe ka ye gwir ku jaler ache yani ke loy aye gwir ku jaler jaber nong ran chi mo biro da bi jo be ler bi aya yo inji dil dai ni zaman ni kaloy rot kula twen de bai ku ka ke kaloy ku ke kwan ku ke chok we an example al gwir no gon ko ko nong ran lo yen diar chirke ka ai ka dor ai ka chang ai ko we gonga golon de lew cheke lo yen chin diar ke chin ke taw ke de lo sharau ke ne no bi sha be ping a cha be a to le ben yen di ta ba ya nyob nam ku ba jo long don lomtin ba lomtin ku ka nong din ja gwe tin tin ku ka ngot ka cha yo yen ka yin tinga ya nam be la gor pen ta lo twen
Thank you mabirda inchale yen ke tande anan kang yelwel wan mabirda na ngulula kaman na munyen na ting kaman ki ben ku nyu chiti ku chaka ting ki chi woi kawai ikane ke ku lwel wan ku ye mon jang jaman ye tong jaman nan ma chiti na kwen da ya chan nguyen ku wen ya lwel ku la nan yar ki choy ki pet ne ya support na yo ran ki loy ki pede ka loy support ku na yo ki loy kre du en tek tek di ki an ne din lwel achan ki chol ki pet ana dai ni yin ran ye lo interview ku ka pet ye ka lwel ko bay together aya ka woy ora ye tui ka woy ben aguranda kin chak dit to pin ka bi chak oran kin chak dit to ki ner ne pe warit achan ngo ke yo ku lwel ne ale cho ma biur daw cho to ku pet go ku te family de achan bi loy beton loy ra pa tui beton achan na cha gam achan ba koy kun ba ka loy ke bi mer pe warit ku ka ye ko pyo mer ka ye ko ra chan bi lwel achan bi story du bu taw ki ci jël ago kwet ko go ya yo wada chan pa te ke mana chin chin cái đàn bel ka ko yo go tip ke dia kana tin ke pia da dunia lo ma biur da yan wala ma biur na ngadot sorry ana da gui la ke ana lo la ma biur da wa na ngadot yin na ngadot adundu ena lueran ke de ka ye korek ye korek na chagran wer kan kombeli de ka lo dwal pinya le wer ab lot de te wo pyo ke de chen ye lwel tin wer e kana aya dondu ni yin kang dor ku bakaloy ku je ari ala pyo dun chi ni ala yeni chan ba lo chi kan ba gamro ku baya loy all the time na chak ben lo kin latin ku yin ken dak ku chin ku tung chin kwang jam ku lo la ki chol kana cha ba lo chan an chi dar kana ting chi man dan wo ya to arwen dit nan to pyo tin min kolon an to pyo tin min kolon na kolon gi jar kolon diar ke ku chake to gut diar ki hango tan ken ko ka kan ke to gut cái này ting ku kaya ni ala chan beneng ketin dia la jorat ku bala joy panda ni chơi tui ne loy pe de loy chagam ku ka chirana bena chagam cái này ting yen kayan diar ker ku pian koy wonto ne loy a chan bi ngi manar ke yen ne ke pe de loy ka ke tu nge chol ba kon ngi manar ke ne ke pe de loy na cha ping man ke pe de loy ka chin ke ran guk ke chagam yen ke pe de loy cha yen ngi yin chagam ku ka chirana bena chiting ke du loy cái này ting ekene yen kayan din loy a chan bi kwet ko bi ke be ping na ta da loy ma biur da ku yen ke chok dara ta ben nyal ne nek be loy chi loy ma biur da be loy a chan ne loy yen yar ne koy loy ke a chir ke cha ber thank you
indeed chat no chat tem ro yen la twen the bai yen ka kan anong din chin ram de ti pyo ni ten koi ke lo yen to tin koi tien nyin koi kuin bai a koi chamar to know ki chane tautin but very appreciative song piadaret kor ko big deal ni ping ni ko ku yen ke din mo fruit batol na ngade e kana ko taw kan yin ka tieng ga anda te nong en chin chin level tin ku batwo chan diara che a gwe jeta no ga cha ke liaba ka koy na makam yen tawen tin on my other phone baga koy ne yakan
cha ting ni cái đằng này youtube ấy win chan diar cái ngoan tuai thì youtube ấy diar cái tàu youtube ấy ina tàu hen tin
okay
nano ani mun den ke lela chan ba ben be ko ba la ka da charan
han kor ba wunda lay na ma chiga
I believe they like it.
ayya dre bale una bale mi je da pa na ga ngo de ter doing the pan tree ga gira gira to je mata ga ta doing kinya ngori u ben ben ye tui ga ngori u ben ben ye wunda ngori ba ja ke u wa ja ala mi jo te ju ne ara ja mal pinya ka me ro ba ko mo el na tuen ne ale ji chen dor ri chen ni ra di u ra ja mal ku yam na jir ku benang ri ba pa da tu te ta ke jo wa ja dia be yi wang dor pinya ka pe da jiran wara ne duen go nge lo una tung bane ma diri ne ran ko re ta ge an me ya tung ben Pinda ka peta chiran waran dengo nge loy una tung bene maderi generan kore ta chiran mwen kuya tung ben mi ga bane tu janga ka peta ku tu nga ngi wo janga re kwa na kin ku pol wa janga dueng ta den wa na kin ku pol ria janga wa ra kin ku pol ria janga ba na ba ba fakir ku ba ya jong na janga de nyang da ku ba ngor ku jolit kira na ba ban ba pa na bi de jana wa wa bi cái tùy pin này cho ra tuần pin đi đã cái tùy pin đã cà phê ta chera nu era ne tùy có nghe loài Una tung bên em mà để đi nhận ran cô để ta cái ran muen tùy tung bên Pinda ka pieta chera nuera ne due gumi loy Una tung bane madir nyeneran kore da keran muen pia tung ban Lagu panda loy de pia duke Nyali na buwa myo nyendo Rati ai de pia nyatinne ne chewatin Pina kwa da logu gao no bulai cheng ne dor Kriya pia nyadinda Pinya pinya miu kwa Dubai de me pan me na me Gui cheng adier Kriya pia waria ja chilung go kong luit Na ena batu ka chilung ya kong luit Kawa na jero pero pe Kara e kero ya ko boom ro re pale Pinya riau riau re koi Yenu pinya riau re koi Monje pinya riau re koi Una yete no me dio wane kwanda kubora ne kwande duke da non kwande Baka baya ban kudangu wa jene dor kubo pa da la juir bila kan riau riau Pinda ka pieta jiran wara ne due ngunye loy Una tumu bane madiri ngene ran kure da jiran mwen tuya tumu ben Pinda ka pieta jiran wara ne due ngunye loy Una tumu bane madiri ngene ran kure da jiran mwen tuya tumu ben
What a great song. Shukran, Nasif. Thank you. No way to a chaka ping. Wilke. Alibi ben low key. Kuna aja tau. Nangadi. Kaya music. Biping chiman ping way and lula tui ka tongo ben. Yana get de. Chiran waran. Na ye cheng. Cheng nga te dan ye cheng. Ka nga ta pande. Tongo nga de ta pande. Ye kaka pira nga ka yin ya. Ran ke ran. Ku kai ke dia. So young ngot ka le wo da fanan yen kan.
Thank you.
Adil nan ka yin cha we ke kaka ku jo ke cham yin. Be wer be jo ping.
Yana ke tande kan mabiyor daw. Yana ke today ay chana nang ke chalwel lwela kan rana an pel nyen bay. Ana an dit bay agan ngi cha chia ko koy ko. Ana chara an yu ke dere to ko ken jam ka le ba ngi ke ti he moy tui. An ngi cha chia ke tui. Kana ting ku je ya ke yo riu bar nang riu. Wan to wo bay pel wo nyin bay ku ran le jam la benang kreli lwe ka la men mal tu ni jam ka chira ka e ke ye choi ba to ki riu ro ku ba to ki riu ra dang e chang de tui ka ting e ke na to ne tiom dai to tiom dan chi nya li wo cha tin ina ka ya ne la pin chu wo cha tio pe wang na do pi do be pi ne ke ko ke cha chan pin ne ko ke cha pin ne ko ke cha ka ne ting chừng đã biết tới rồi na luyện lên hiện cái anh là chừng pa đã biết rồi pa đã bảo gol pa kir kular pa na juang ku je chừng biết rồi nhuang đã chana na din nyoe cái nghịch cái tu tin din nyoa cái nghe ku je la kongor ku jolit aya ka wo ka koy ka ben an nga chừng tok ana lora de jolit yu ka yu kran kongor yu ran kongor ka yu ta na nyoa agut baran de jor juang la yu chan Rane pa ke ratong ya wotong achang da etok ya ke yan di ne ke ra chana chang da emir ku ke riu ku ke chol chan ba ke da ba gum to wen to kan wa ina yana la ke wa ngati opi pin ke dor ina yana lo ku panda gwir ku ku rer chuman ta dan wan panda pe ta te tiom chu cha le wang dor Yana ke mening de di ne ke chol tiag ko ko yana ke yana di na bay ne an. Thank you.
Darki.
Tikar banyak gitu bengi wabidu panda Bagacang aja meror minta jendu Goka kekul jalur wet Coba jaga gara Demi yang atung Kaya wil bumi Wadu ini pindah Demi yang atung Manyut kuir Buki janyut Belit negalam Ya boy jaga gara Demi yang atung Kaya wil bumi Wadu ini pindah Elwale rey Dede nganyut kuir Buki janyut Belit negalam Yali janiran den ti jaga no adu nowhere. Hey wa konya mana bina you weda jaga kwanyo nyon zonda gala ta konywa. Wadu bo wala rejiding atimi yang atim ila bebo kwen yu sudan abetu ka kikul ke pande. Kata yang jaga ka kindi ni sudan ni mari chan panda. Mega wawa kikul kuhil kela kila dira aku tonga aku panda. Yo chemiri changa mekaya chaga moto. Ikibai ni arbia kwena kikul ke panden ke kaya kul jaga wendi baiki. Nyali changiran den tijak no ngadun wer. Ewa konya mane bida yuweda chaken konyo. Johnson dagala ta konywa. Wadu bolo ala rejiding. Atemi yang atim ni abebo kwen. New Sudan abetu kakikul kapande. Yenong Sudan apanda kujabetu kakikul kapande wani arbai. Wadu bolo ala rejiding. Atemi yang atim ni abebo kwen. New Sudan abetu kakikul kapande. Yenong Sudan apanda kujabetu kakikul kapande wani arbai. Wadu bolo ala rejiding. Atemi yang atim ni abebo kwen. New Sudan abetu kakikul kapande.
Wow. Great advice. Well, Joy, chilon ye dini ay ka kwoti jare. Shukran le lwal ding. Yene chol lwal rej ding lwal. Chol Peter ding. Ne kuke sultan. Anong show ye loy. E gudu bog. Ye ke jo yen ko. Kene yene ka chatting yene ka chasharaw. Quran chira tamiya ka chidob gate journalist kabir. Ezol kabir ko boke ga ila bi. Aka chike pinga kwen ke. Kaga pira miya gol man le wo ko ke nang mit ba itan chan mit ko ka chi dit ne wor ke ni a chi dit ne ko ke ni a dit bara pa ka ke ga ka cha ke le wo ku jo le ne wetok u nya le yang ira no ngodet ran bu wet bu le ko no ba shara woni ke ni
Thank you. Ikan ba charo. Quran di chi war lwe la pet tawen ran chi lwa ra cha lwa ra cha chi jamun ku lwe na chara do ke dang kan ba ku lwa la yo ta yam da wa ne ke ye na ran ne choy Douglas mo US mo ka ku lwe de lwe na lwa ra a lui ka na lwa ra chi lo no bo yen gat bo to ki ran ngi jaket ke Sudan kam de Sudan kan Uganda kan Kenya kan ba jui kok angi ku te de ne ju ne yutin el wale na ka ngi che long di ta twen cha wale na ka lui kan ting ran lui lu de wale re cha lui support yana ke support woni al wala kri ci ben accord support lui lual support yana ke chokran ci tam ya ka to ke yara di do ken give up ne lo de lo min wan a chan ke lo ya ke bi mi log yo mi a chan bi mi ke direct ke yana ke taw yin ma biur daw wan te wan ken ke pi or te wan ye wo ke taw ke wo ye ma chok a chira na ngi ke chol ba ke pi ngai to wa ye lwa ri ye nya ye lwa na mi ha ke be ri nya lwa e ke na chi tem ke na war ko wan ko dir lo ko to ko ma na ko dia ka je taw kan ting kan ngi cha bel we le plan ku la ga na je pi mi ra chan bi chi we kwany ma biur ba ni ala ni chi pi mi ra to ye ko lo kan ting e pi ala chan bu ko dir ko bu ke ka bay ago ko wo la ka wen chu ke chibat cha ting wa na ri che we la ka lwa ko be ri ni ka log lo be ni ka log lo ri ni yana ke ngi ye wo ka ngi wa kana a chi we la ka che do ba ta chan we kwan che gat wan ta kan ting ke ta chi wo ka ya gat ta chi wo ke ya gat e lo ni ale go taw na garang ma biura tim no go nguloy go mi go ke jor ko ko ni we ta wan yen jor mi tong a chi be ram tong gi jaret kam de di hor ka met ta chan di hor ni ar me ret ka chi be ko ben de pin na ya pan nang ti de na riu to ka chi ben jor du no ben na bi ka pet jo ben ting e ke ne ke chi ro lo ku lo garang ka la gat chan ki yen lo ya ai ye ngi mana re ki na ye ta da me ke ka bai ben chum ka ko ka bai ye cha me man thio a tho ka ko ka bai ai ko ka chum ben ka pa ne chol New Sudan bi chum ne ke yene ke chok de miti ken man ai tok do kui ha to ke ka jot ka wan ka ko go ku nim la ma ri cheng ta na ka jot ka ke mi ko go ku nim la ma ri cheng ku ka ngot ku ke ka pio to ma ne na ai chan luoi re ne ale che ne ngai ba de na ye ai ngot ke ta ne ko ka jot ka ke chi na pe la ma ko ka be ku ko be ku ra ret ko wan chi na pe la ma ka ke wa ri ko we ya to na chi ka be be ne ko be ka mi ke ndi mi ko ma na tok jo kui ai tok jo kui ha to chi man wa na ne nyan ti ne cho la ko na tem ma bi ra tem ko ya cha ting wan lai peten akwai men piet ta chan wi na chi pan de na chi gam chi pan de na chi gam ka chi lwa ni ta da wala ku ye ta da yot ku ye ko ya kana ting ye ka mo ka men chi bai gam chi gam pi ni cheng da ku ye na ka yan jam ku la pi ki mi cheng da bi ki ya cho gam mo to ka na lo men pi je la ka bi ping e kene ke te ke charet chan bu ku mi ko bu ko wel ni pa anda ana lo ku be lo we chan lo we da ri je be na ma cái chi ngi ara bi ko joto e kana ko gat bawo ani ara ret chan mi ko ra ka chi mara ya bele ka ba yo no chan ara ka lo bo ko war ken a lo ka ya ko en wa ngai ko er bi ke ina an jam ko ta mi yang ta ma nyot ko er galam ko da chi nyot bu ke chi nyot galam na chakra ndo wo ki jal ne ko ka men da lo bu ko en war ka chi yong ba bio diao la no ra ka jel ka la pa ande panda bi ke mi kwon ke ka be cho pe nyran ta be lo ke ka panda ja pet yene ka yan jam ku lela a chi kura chan bu ku mi ko bu ka chamar ko be ka nyu ku er ku panda anti ya bu ku gwir ka be la riaw chi panda ka wa chi panda pa la riaw ka panda ka er pana chi men do chi le bi luel la no na chang met chi yi luel chi yi ngi chi man mi ju ko kwon to e cha sri no man chin history pe bi med luel cha chin cái ngi to den chin cái ngi kun na ye pan de na ka le luel ke na ye wa lo ku ka ye ku ye kwa ro wa ya kun na ye pan ka le bi ber ke la do na mi ko chin ki luel ke history ana le me le wi ne ngen ke den te den chene pin ka lo la yo mi no ngi ke yu di bi jala wa ki pre ne le ye chiri yo chena iri yo jere na chin yi wen be ben be ne no chana chin history ngai yo to ku gwera ekene ayana ko ra chan be history de pa na be le mi da pet ku be mi ko be ka jo be ka yen bo chan ke eru ne ma na ka ta to ko tin ma bi da ko ye met gam ke kwen met ne nyende bu kwen tong de ko nyende na ye gam ko che be jam ba chol ke jam chi ka wa ja ta chi jam chi ke be doi ko chatin chi jam be doi ko na jam mo met balwel ku be nyo lwel ka lwel sorry abu be ale chatin ka chi dar ten kuna ai go da ka chi kor chan mo che lo nyen ma pet kuna kwen ni yen ka le bu kwen guta da be ne la kan ayen pia da chan bu ku kere bo bu ya so da ret bu ku mi ko bu ko wel ni na ko pa dai bi chi le ka ngi pa na cha kon tema ma biuratem akoy man arga wen mi ko chana cha tinga na ngi ba wer wan ko kwa ba ko ko na chiran tende ayu ku paim de ga ra na le ko kermen ci bay gam kan ci pande na ci ngi man rek nang pande yene ga ci dam ju ko ku bi kan yal ko ya yo ka ngi pande thank you
yana pes shukran din bataw yana ga baya din akar ku buku job to kuten ku branda next speaker abe job ben
Hana tawo mari. Nyana mangar tongwe. Hana nyana mai goro. Production. Denga garang gaga luyu wawina jang mandi kene garang garang ajang denga gara jabanya manjola denga kubole jola bol waji bandi lakitwi ina kwanga bana kaya jaman na kaya bawin bayu ina waji wawa bitwi ragamboy ajila tunga wal malawi kuyara kutanatim wila mayana diria arang de waji ngeyo bitwi kukoloi Lui ka wele garanga Lui ka wele garanga pero manjangirana loira ire tui Ni wajo abetui ragambo Kuko will bring you come up your dana loira baya jipane tui really Dengaranga gaga lui ka wena jang mandi kanagara Karanga yanga denga bara chaponya monjola denga kubole chola bolwa jibangi like a tree. Security of the town when you look upon it, you come up you. My beauty dana no nearby a Japan tree. We really a board of the day when you look upon it, you come up you. My beauty dana no nearby a Japan tree. We really a king of the beer when you look upon it, you come up you. My beauty dana no nearby a Japan tree. We really but you are a good when you know upon it, you come up you. My beauty dana no nearby a Japan tree. We really pull up in your when you know upon it, you come up you. My beauty dana no nearby a Japan tree. We really the jar of a load when you know upon it, you come up you. My beauty dana no nearby a Japan tree. We really Dengaranga gaga luyu bawena jang mandi garanga jang denga para chaponya munjola denga kuboli jola bol wajibangi lakitwi wepi wajibangi lakopanda kutunga twi wajibangi lakitwi wepi wajibangi lakopanda kutunga twi wajibangi lakitwi wepi wajibangi lakopanda kutunga twi wajibangi lakitwi
wow we sharp we jumping. I'm impressed, highly impressed. Lawyer ben kenen ke yen ye gol ku ti yen laptop din. Ka cha ke luel ten yin laptop. Anong ka ben ba den. Ku ke kin ga ka jiam wo tin na ya le ba den ka pa na ki ma bu ga luel ka bu ga luel ten. Abu ga loy. Ka ka piu abu ga luel ka bu ga loy ten. Fa ka aka jilo no wan ke. Ka ya luel ai din e din ngi ta kan yen ba yo kwa da ti. Long di kan. Chan loy ku ka lot de ngui. Lot de. Shan wo tit and indeed inje will ka bai a cha ke taw ne diari so yin ka ba jo chabo yin garang twe and tax garang ajak na cha message india na cha and twe tax in ba be twe message ku ba ben ba appreciation ba yin to ka ken go jal ku be garang be ben garang shoot after that yin garang ye ready to thio ina ya ka ba jo ngor ko ja do in ka cha ke kwen tin tin yin ba ke jo wow ka cha ka ba kwan cho ka de great song and thank you so much appreciated. In a bit
Hela power mari. Nyana mangar tongbat. Mana nyana mai goro. Production.
welcome back.
Again, Wunde.
Yin
Hello.
yin
Okay.
yin
Uh,
so we're doing
hey.
the kir ku jel ya appreciation
Okay.
de will cha ke le ko jitan ka ba ke jo mari ku ba jo ku ba ke jo ngari chan din nga ba din tok go ku speaker der ba cha bo ku bu ku ti da chan wo bi ti da ya ni junub anong message be ben mane depend ta chen ben ba den ka bu ku ke bay right away lot wen ta earphone ku to ka ka bala ko ta
Ayan na kita. Oh, kilo road. Tao.
oh okay malish
Pengen kayak
in
dia.
cha ping welcome
Pengen.
in piang in a good
Okay, thank you. Ayan na kita kana yin mabiyor da wacin ke dia na kabalu. Aya ayu din na chira kera ku kachira chei gere tok na wel te kay luel. Ay kay to na tui pyo ora kay to na na wet gam pyo ka ka luel ka ne din. Achan nguna ay ka du gam ku yin tit te bela latin te bela loindin ene ga yoku te na le ya lo security ya chita ka lo la ke ki ata te choi kana ku nyu ka wa met pia ku wa yetui na lo le na ka chen ka kim loi chứ mà nó quay lâu hành chứ cái nhu wa pa na choi pa nya go cái ka lo la ka chen ka kim loi ke ki tim ku mir ku pia ene ke chok de ki chira dom abu pur dom de pa na tui ku nyu wa ai ka be loi no wo ye tui ka gam ayo ku ko ra chan bu ku ya ting ku ye na ke luai da support ku ye na ke luai da choril e ke ni na ka di ta ye luil pion chan ke nyir ke pion ke nyir ti nong ya ra gu to na tem ajira mo ku jela gul ma yen no chu ku jela yara rong ding yara loel pan piam da
Okay.
E luai chứ cái lỗi chan cái lỗi ka ye kon pe na ko la lỗi cái lỗi cái na ka bi tui be ben bi chera antong do e cái tiệc cái đó ta rít à lỗi chuyện chắc cái mẹ rít này hai chuyện cái điều pe chuyện chứ mẹ cái nó mà biết ta cái chuyện cái chấm về là trốn tin ye nó cái lỗi cái nó cái bi à bên be be ur ya guru wa ya to ha ya ka yin pai ku da real de lỗi ya mi du ro na lỗi thế thì là bên lỗi cái chi bên ba rồi tui le ba ti cái nó cái chả rít ya khu lo ni lỗi ye nó cái nó ya an cái lễ cái rồi là quấy như cái pa na tui lo chắc cái lỗi ati ke dot ari le charet ku ka chupa da ne che tri cha gam lo ana ye ke le tri tiam ka di ti lo dun tin ne ka yan ke le ra ne chol wel garang da kwer ki an wel pion wala ne ari da ka ye ne ar ku da ra jo mo ku da ka wa ni quran be na ne atri lekin ni ra wala atin ke di tare ka tin ne ka yan ne lo la ne na yan lo la bi ku lu no wel garang da kwer ma jang dit ran ne a lo ri de tri ku ka na ci jo loy la yi de tu ka ba jo pingen ni ma biur da eto du na a cin ki cher tin ni taw tin jawan ki ti ben na bir ay ki ri ci be loy pan bi pingen no ma biur de ki yan ke ne lelin ma biur chan tv du ne ka kong liu ni bi ke ci ja ben e tv de yu da ma biur da ne ka ko na ka nga a loyel tin ku be ngai jo la lim de kana tin ama de ne tv du na yen ka chu ku loyel wona wona dina dana de chu ku lwe la pet ta chan ngo ka ni di ba na tu ku je ya kwai ko to kweri be ban a chan a ngi ya bu wa we la kana che ke bu po la ya ye na ya yo chin ke di ba be lwe lin wun de di da che ge ra to di
Indeed.
da che ge ra to ku ye na ke lwe di kan ku ka ton ko an ji ke wa bu ka gwang ni ma chan ton chu gwang no ma che be ri yo ye ni an chu gwang no am tar ai ngi
Indeed.
an chi be ri yo a chan an chu gwang no ha bu ka gwang ni ton ai gwang no ne dia a chu cái luận pa ne tuya bi cái lỗi chứ mình chiu cái gam ku ka bu cái support ya na ye support ye lỗi ka chin cái bánh cho ko chứ thế ni luận gam cái bánh luận ko ku na cha luận gam cái bánh tiền cái ne ye ne cái chi di lwe lin wunde nga chi cái cha ber wa chi di che lwe le da nga cha bu ngi
A
cái
chapter.
dien ban tuk cái dien ban tuk cái nan anh lệch pa da nó cái tu ya lệch cái rit ku ke nom min yin ma bi dan ngo yin ka yote na kon da yin tu ja ler maktam de tu ekne e lay go ku ka ko ra chan ba ko loy dun ba ka la twen ni ya chi ma lu yen ba kara na bin alawut na ne mi te ko be ban chi man wa na kon atem ma bi ra tem ke ja ke chobo bi ke de ne pyo be lo ku bi mi te ko bi ke ting mi te ko dai ni en chi man wa na dai mi da ko cái cả bê cái chỉ cái hoa lối cái lối của nó cái tiêm mình rồi chứ cần anh lấy mắt làm luôn nếu đi chịu đi ở bên này
Thank you.
cái chơi thì cái real
network lui lui froze. And the kind of a remove. Welcome.
Abir.
Welcome back.
Yeah, naro.
Bye.
Okay, chan. Bawa belum.
Cái cho garang cho lo ko lo cái tinga ken bala ko lo cha jama. Garang Jack.
Yes, Abir Dow.
Inja mod bany. Welcome.
Thank you so much.
In che to cha ping. I will take it well.
Yes.
Dear take it ke tao. Yen ke jama ka. E ko wo ka che ket kuna ran ye ket wen ke ran ru ka ke runde. Ku tao ka ti. A chi a ko kol cha to che ke tao ti ne tene. Ku le ko ben ke ye wer ku ye music. Quite amazing.
Right. It's a very incredible show. I really I dear Kato Kujajam Chenjam I enjoy very much. It truly speaks to what I believe in the core of our community. Culture, and I'm so happy to example to gam Akonomobile talking about in Houston. The guy the look at the future can people when need to be getting a chan by chico mar quite you work quite a America and can communicate the educate. Achi culture the tree, kuching the gene for all of that, and we are very difficult to teach them. Kunanga lo idea, Kulwele will can really capture the essence of cultural maintenance or cultural preservation through songs, through different kinds. And I'm very inspired. Will chato and Penen. Not only you can actually see where the wisdom come from. I did, but I got a chance to explain, to articulate. You get this is what you get. So what the in on behalf of Tweet, Twin the United States. I'm sure Twin the Pindama die, whoever die, whoever die in me. You look at the core of the message can. Shout out Chagagam to Unchi Peter Valred, who quite win a Louis cake. And to move ourselves forward, Jiman Garang Kumabio Dow, Kuranchi. Kayoga Tingo, Kayoga Ping, Ayakakol. Kunanga Koi win. I'm watching there's something going on Facebook. I don't know who started it. Nongkoi Kwandin Queen and Double War Quad 14. If there was a written document from the Quad 14 to now, our community will be it will be in a very good place. I mean, we are because I stories you can learn through generations. But in this time, Abuga Gor, Abuga preserve. And most of these are called now it's our chance to write them down. Bugula Twingo community. So Imabur, I love this show. I really like Will Chatok and Will. Ben Chen Ben Bobe Grace with this incredible knowledge and the way she articulated Jan inspired. And I think we should always have people like her come to on our culture. Part of the organization we're managing is not so much about, it's not always about reliefs or everything else. It has to do with community, building a community through a generation that is coming. And this is through cultural maintenance or cultural preservation. knowing what the heritage is, knowing our intangible heritage, which is what Athol is trying to do through songs, and having and linking those songs to our tangible heritage places in get by the tree. So in the Cape and the Ganina to interlate it walk in Karampin, but I'm so happy to have seen you here. And Diarku Abagala Ping, Mobira Dow, this was a great show. I chat about the young number, got that young number. Thank you so much.
Ayen ato chi kada chirir ngadi ka to power telephone ku ka be tembe charge ke rot lo loy kat
Okay.
garang chut your turn turn up na chaben yin ba be nyal wo ben to the low end when be ato ben to ku be ayin be ben next shukran garang yen ke la tuenga ka good because nang resources kan one of our resource yen tv yen wo jam tin ka lwel ka ka tui ku ka la tuen che man ye wel ka ping ping nam ke ka man wel te ke jare example encouragement ka jwe ke a ka chi ke ka dob yo ku man che pya ping nam a chi tyo wo che am la sak wo chi ka jam pan to ku yen wen ato canada Vancouver BC BC nga tawentin British Columbia e pin long tui ku wekan central ku koy ko to east ku koy to na yi Australia man ya gurma bek cha ka ting tan ku koy jwe ke to kana ting ku wo go pin wetok mane e lugoy pe daret ato na no wera kir ka ba chwar ku bu ko to ka tan chan yin rir ngadi tan a chi na ruwa ko koy de ko ye telephone in chi power to ka pet ba we du na to lwel bu ku jo ko ja okay kalas ka yi chwar tong duon taw ku na che ngadi ka nin ko ka be ben twen ku wo ji pyo miat ne luo cha loy ni ye ko la yin ko cha ke wet yin ko cha ke dut pyo ku information pet chiro loy ku luor chini lor ne ko ke ji ka chin gam chi ki show chi ki support. Thank you guys. Thank you so much. I hope nongra an emergency get it and because an chebela get a pit chan bentry jam ten. Comments I log jal. Garang chut tune in. Your turn. I Nasif, welcome back.
Thank you. And the telephone che alwai telephone che to wa kaya jala bi cha
Go
pian kren
in penko.
You think why?
Na chebe jal ka ja pol buku be you nin kok. Or na kere show ba den ku chi bela nang just in chebe to tin ka be du kin ba be ben ba wera ker du ba be tio. Trire nin man. Ai lolo na ngur keririn ke kale ba pol ke da indob jal tar loy ile ba wer tong taw ale ba taw ku ba pol go jobela lo cha ya na ngur ke dai ba den ku chu dob to garang ile ba be ben ku le we don da ker ti chen ni lo nang power tin chi taw tin
ayan na petare ban babi ba kada
eta ba na re telefon du pa kibro loy pal for now na chu to garang ngur yen ba den ile ba jobe ben chana chi rot pingaman ku ga je yak
network chi rian no nge na
lui network de ko channel power liu ka che graph pet
okay
ay to yin
Karena jangan dengar naraca banyak muncul ada boleh coba boleh coba lagi tweet security aku tahu punya apa nih punya kamu mampir dan aku ada bayar coba nih tweet yang aku rasa dia punya apa nih punya kamu mampir dan aku ada bayar coba nih tweet yang aku nggak berbir punya apa nih punya kamu mampir dan aku ada bayar coba nih tweet yang aku
to ko man okay abu ko job politen we cha ke be mo tani we ko ke ben ko ke dai to bu ko job pol che tem ko chi rot pin ke ka bu ko pol ina to ku pingen ke ka bu ko pol for now na cha beneng zaman babe ato na chaneng zaman baden ku chi telefon du ku chi bela neng justin ko ti chen power ti chen en grab ke ile ba bela du ti chi garang ti chen to but for now ari rin ku ka chi bote de to tawen ya ana chaneng ade ile ba tiok right now to bin whopping
Okay. Okay.
lot we ngai
Nên cái tiếng Maya nó.
in je bena in choping
Quét chuyện tiếng đó.
in penku in good no difficulty okay yana pia abuku wan tan ina to ja lui cha jama na chi garang to baden ku nong zaman ge yin ba jo be na kira le ko buku be yo nin ko batwen okay
À, cái tiếng Maya mà yêu đó.
yin penku bara lot we ngai fa yin ni nang difficulty buku pol garang ajak garang chut welcome tanang we sharp ko ke dai ku ko ke ping to arway chi telephone chi at the last minute ku show why show pia the rate and we appreciate her with everything ku ka chuku le ku ka chuku lor na bende wen ku show chi loy we ko ke chi ka chin gam thank you so much kene yen ga la twen the bai ko ja support go ku nang mya che to chi le diar ka yi ku ka che le ni to ga ya kene ka che ben ku ka ko jitan chapter kana buku wan tan program da wo ngor wo la twen ran che ben tan e garang chut deng when yen chan get bi a chak dil ting garang a young businessman a career pi South Sudan for some time chilo Australia kulejal in Australia after chen gat do Junub Sudan chila nangrun ka dongwan anong business de business war ye lo fi Junub abe jo sharawuni yen kudonora ande third party aya pinge lwele yen ye license ke ye je ke lo ngadika yen ka ye ke produce na che yen ke long ye loy abngot ke je be lwel baden IDs ka ke ye ke produce fi Junub his background in business ngade ran IT yen ke specialty de ku ke ka kor ku ke ku ko je ben west ci ko won yen ci ato ci lwel ye na ye garang ci ko ja ci ke to garang no mabior ci ko ja ci ke to ko be mia dike bay to non ko kene ye kul ko bi mia to non ko ja ci lo ko ke tie to non garang ke men junu pe men wong le mo nya yal ku ka je to no Australia man ta ci lo fi junu ci te ko ci du chien anong companies ci lu kan yen companies to the United States international community nong yi ka to ne Tel Aviv ni Israel chinan connection now beloide ti jolo ti yana ti chiti gwe woyetin ti gwe woyetin ke ka be jo ben ku ka be ke loy kwan chok man as we speak yana ka be jo le wok wo we wayo ko to Africa ku bengi wo to ja ka yi Somali ku jela apps ko ti be pi ben war ye wo ko wayo ku ke to tung ni ye ka ke a chi garang ken partners ke ko ke nyu pin ken yen ku loy ke ye loy a chi ke ngadi a chi ke bay nyal ku man is functioning in South Sudan ke londen yen ka kar be ben ku brom ken wok yin ban garang a ja kwar wo cha kude chu ta wo wo na akurje akude ko idi rataw kude dia rataw akude emergency relief yen kin ke lui mane resource mobilization yen ka lui kolwar bin ye adis war in chiro loy be ben wonong small business mabiyor kwany mabiyor yen got in charge of that now the kaka kadie ai ka chike specified a chano na bonga ka bukungi be kwancho garang one of the businessmen ku keran tin kor ku knowledge de ku tangde ai ka ko junub a ko tui a ko wogo de fa yin ban garang yin ba chol ku ba garang chut ba welcome ku ba garang bi jola twen tan ka ko no skill ke ka e wogo tawtan ai ra no bu koin ko no bu koin road ke bu ko liem nyin ku bi nyol ko ku bi shara bi ko bi ka ping welcome bay
Hey, Babio, thank you so much. Garang Chut Deng, welcome to Tweet TV. We are happy to have you. Great introduction, Chimabio Chuloyin. On behalf of Tweet community in the United States, the communication, the medium in Towintin, the purpose was to reach people like you, the people with the skills to impart to others, including our community in the United States. Kaba present and work, and you expect from people to been to the Western world, Australia, United States, or Canada. You learn as much as you took as much as you can from that education, and you went back. Now you're trying to impart that to the community, our community here in the United States. You're welcome. Our organization is huge. We have different departments. One of the things that we thought when we came into the leadership was that we should have a small business group, supposed to be an association within this community. Folks like you, by went on entrepreneurial skills, big other people, big educated, or big trained, or at least mentor them on how you can start a business, or even gain different skills in whatever that can further your endeavor. So in challenge, on behalf of Bulumanya in the United States, the team the United States, Kuandengawan, Kutake Secretary General into later Ben no work, Kuchaki you expected to do Korba Chaloi Baloi work near Colin. So welcome. Welcome presentation to a enjoy later. Bio thank you for hosting this show.
Thank you.
Um, Bany mo biyo, win garang wech kay late, ku koi dai, ni on toke katin. Abagol nirin kya. Liberat ba leg wech and ani chol garang bany mo biyo, luel kana. Andor yu ka man jong late, ya man apanay, bana man junub. Kutuwin chi bany mo biyo luel kanya neti ban kina ni mo yuay. Kana chuku ban, zaman kire kana, kaya yo uta kaya junub si ku joko ke jeg ba ban e chuk so ngana lege ba yen we chan chagyan yen welcome ku chag ban ki tokanen barom kane we na ki pet nang bu kon wok ka bu kon wok ko community ku ko bai na ku chala twen ko we ko chuk a chi mo bi ke le ya na ran ti dai ben australia wo ko ba bai na 1996 ine bi ko ping wo ko bo la ran school chok la ran de awan ci pan ci ben be kana go ko nyar go nyar ke na do ra kan ngal bala koñ so wan ci ben dog junub sudan wan chan to jama almost 14 years ago kula ka un le big ran ko ni piri bin got koñ ba ko koñ la ga temba ke loy an ci tiem ne won kok an ci wig ne won kok factors un ran jol jem wonon ka ran jol wi ka jol loy lakini piri kene ini week lakini kena cha week yani lo determine ne barat jot wa ba tembala so cha ben ting yani na nong chi wa ga chen ya to piri keep trying chi mangun chi ma bi ra lan chi lu ken international companies especially in telecommunication based in Houston in the US and in Tel Aviv in Israel so cha lo junub Sudan I can ga lu ni ga ken ke my own business ke other is from different part of the world I take a lot represented in South Sudan. But then what cake yani can managing of Sudan and only about point one uncle be yan because people can partnership. So relationship ka ta ko na sa da yawo dan nan point work wannan ku work man. Ni ne ko la we baglim sometime chan wo ko won ti bana yer kin ayel ya butong jeng butong khawaja. So na nong tiane do lia ni palgan ka wa cha che ko tong jeng này châu tu ni ko jam multiple languages ke wala ro wai ni kam ka tok so ba lim nang we ba ka palen an yar ba jam tong jeng betul lakin ai chiro de lew so kin na ba ka palen ka wai hien joto yani junub sudan an yar ki man yar weken ne ti bi waktin wini ton ko tin kuna era yar binong ba ko ni ba ko tun now chong rare in the US or in Australia or in Canada or in Europe jonga successful bala no ko tibi intin ngor ke kin yak in kilo pionier so my business drive has always been whatever I do it should actually benefit my people make my thinking na ke bu ko ke ko ngene it will make me more career Australia or career wherever I travel because you know cool ran chidan or ran chin we ti ya ko ping why mal ku pire wona pandu lakin na ti bin tin u ken rot chok pin you cannot be proud ki man to what na ti che da pan tin ngene what chip yon lakin ki be chok pin our business ideas as Bangaran mentioned entrepreneurial activities ki ka bo ba be ni ka jwiti akina kuma by loyal to the private sector so ki ento ki ban jam tin ne kule ki man won ti ban ye ba ma tin e to jo East Africa chan wo ko ta er non ko nyop kon di dong kien wo ka ke kun ai wo kun ne wo ye ka bi ka bi ko ke kun skuli ku jala ka ji ko ne wo ko ai wo ka ke loy wo ko ta er so pin di de wan ko ji ko ai wo to using the pshil or amal or in the case of East Africa world remit recently lakini tu ting one this is something we can do So myself, and develop a payment gateway, which is what I want to share in your audience. Uh, Within the chat room at the moment. The application is called is spelled KWIKSY. One there, when you send money to Junub, Chil, or Amal, you physically, thank you, thank you, getting your way, quick setup in internet, and you can download it from Google Play if you're running Android, or App Store if you're running an iOS platform. So systemically, Alloy is based on mobile money transaction platform. So one there, in Junub Sudan, there was no such thing. Like you mentioned, the international remittance part of the transaction, a quick slow handle. Like in Kiralo, Junub Sudan, the key company called M Grush in a license to actually make the payment on the ground. So people like us, we partner with genuine companies when Chakuma licenses because it's always a very tricky to deal with. Partner can run kinom license or can recognize. We don't do that. Kuchimanchawe getting on the screen, Kibanga below shared in South Sudan is the last mile partner non walk. Now Kenya M-Pesa. Uganda is MTN and Airtel. In Tanzania is Tiger. Rwanda is MTN. Like for the purpose of this show, we're focusing on Kenya, Uganda, and South Sudan because Kikai want to know you know in the US or Australia, Ibrahim to Juba, South Sudan, Ibrahim to I want to Juba collecting. And this is where my focus is. The application is developed to allow you, Iran, to send money directly to your loved one in South Sudan on their mobile phone. I can account, or you don't have to go to Amal or the Habshil. Who could you lower one? Can you make it cheap, and to make it accessible? So meaning, Ranto Mading, Achille ba Benjuba, Domin Juba to any Mading, Naranto Panyagor, or Ranto Reng, or Ranto Kwajuk, or a will, they can get money directly. So these platforms allow to send money directly to almost the major cities in Junub Sudan. Finally, walked in Bentiu for security reason. Ujola Miet Panabiay, we don't have people on the ground. Lakin Pan Chigoliarun, Chikwajbi Kogalatin, Jonglei, they have, and all the other capital are Tokoi Pogatin. So this gives you an idea of the coverage in South Sudan because one and on covered and they get on the rank, Ebu to Wajagabala Dom Juba, Wajagabala to Wairang. That is no longer the case. The money can be sent direct to mobile phone in South Sudan. They would need to register with Zain because M Grush in the license to do the payment. Like in M Grush need to partner with the telecom, and the telecom company Tigalu partnered with Canadian Zain. Because we only have two telecoms in South Sudan, Zain with MTN. MTN, we can still send money to an MTN number on MTN. Like in non-cake they need to go and register with Zain. What we can do, you don't have to change it. What you can do, you just go with your ID and we can map your MTN number onto your Zain. Telephone MTN, you can still keep, once you put along 2 lines, you can keep your MTN, but we'll just map it onto your Zain number. So now side of Benny will, you can just go on number to make life easy. Can you roll? I took a little bit out of kids because you were no man to will. It costs money as well. So Australia and to from the Hapshil or Amal, $100, maybe they can charge you $18, $17. You know, walking is only $2, 2%. To what you mean, Junub Sudan and Jamot token will cost you only $2. Now Uganda will cost you $1.50. Now Kenya $2. Same with Kingston Kwanta Somalia. So I don't make a focal point of discussion. Kenya ku Uganda kujola yene South Sudan. Lakini kuwe koi ping na ran wuni yokono ran dan ni to pan Ken Luel to Rwanda or Tanzania to ran the thing. You can still ask questions. Cake back. You can still send. Like in Anjam talk about people. So you can see the countries on the screen. We can do remittances to those countries. Like in the talk about you in a Banjam. So the application itself, the way it is among multiple functions, but for the purpose here, I would work until carbon jumping. And we built in a digital wallet. Garang Chut misada non ko kira Kenya wa non ko kira Uganda of Sudan. Wakar bagatwa at the same time. So app will allow you to withdraw money from your account and put onto your wallet. And then from there you can distribute to around Kenya, Uganda, wherever you want to go. The reason we did that is whenever you transact from your account, the application will authenticate you, being you are, and your bank will also do a secondary authentication to allow you to actually transact. So now looking at 2 or 3 times, every time you do that, you will be authenticated by the app as well as by the bank. So now is like going to the ATM Muslim. This way, I want to give Ban Garang Yak $100. $50. It means I drive to my ATM, I withdraw $50, what this does is like, okay, don't go to the ATM. If you know you're going to send money to 2 or 3 different people, put it in your wallet. The wallet, you can just distribute the money. So we put that function to make it easy to on multiple people that they support. Like in Iran, when you do it once or twice a month, you can just do directly from your bank through the app, and it will do that authentication. This is how it works. So you to access the US, it actually works with credit and MasterCard. Not until also would work with MasterCard and Visa card. In Australia, we work with the banks. So we have all the banks in Australia in the system that you can select whoever you bank with, and then they'll go through the process of authenticating that you are who you claim you are before the app can actually allow to send the money. That will be quite okay. Side really and I told you Sudan one question that Ben. The negative question IP Yakadom as dollars or in pounds. I'll answer, but will in Junub Sudan as Yakadom in pound because the pound is actually the currency that when the Junub Sudan now to Kenya or Uganda, we call to Uganda or Kenya using World Remit or any other form of payment, actually in shillings. The difference is in Uganda, the market is quite stable. The currency market is stable, and people don't actually use dollars. I kill allowed anyhow. So now Chongdam has changed before you can use it. But in South Sudan, the market is somewhat not. I will not use the word not regular, but control. So I live non to the ban who you do alive to the can live who you do alive. Command the black market. Maybe that's not the right word. Let's say parallel market in South Sudan. The unofficial market and the official market are very different. So ga kira loy we koy kwa ken ka balo share anyway because the perception non koy kwa e na chi to we da yere lazim bedom dollar ku jala wari ka kira loy iran would watch in the diaspora it costs you more money iran will dom ge dollar from amal or da chi jabala geri su you stand to risk. Number one, the Iranian fake money. We never know. To me, one time, you buy the real, like aswat. A problem. Number two, some in problem can cause national security. Now, you in the corner exchanging money, you actually can get yourself in a lot of problem. Look at your law, and I'll give you a good example. In Australia, now, $100 to Juba, it costs you $2 from Quixie. If you use a mall, it might cost you up to $20. So in order, it will look like they've actually they're gonna make more money when they trade from the black market. Like in it costs you more money. The cost for you to send money does not justify the few pounds you're gonna get from the black market and the insecurity that is involved. So I just read on the ground, can you coach the last mile pan make it as close as possible to the black market rate. I should say the parallel market rate or unofficial market rate. The word black just keep coming out because that's what we're used to calling it. Bit different bukur nekam dum enong em grush kujadum dumekola dum soup aswad. Jatele kwa on the ground. Feel free to interrupt me anytime you want. And on Korbari, that he at the other end, non pure doubt, they can go and check the other rate, come back, and we can either match the rate or we can be reasonable because Grush is a legally registered company, licensed. They cannot trade it exactly like a rate. So, in terms of the benefit by using this application, on we got convenience, affordability, and the fact that Nanoran told to make that they will not get money normally usual way because Makade Pia, Mali, Dapshilato, Juba, and the other major cities is that these people can get money directly on their phone. So I believe in one way yani biran the them. You have a problem, maybe you can share my contact in and I'll help through the process of registration and of using the app. In Australia, it's quite many people are using it now and they're happy with it. US, it hasn't caught on yet. We need to and we're quite want to in America, Bagatemari, to utilize this service because there's no other way. Somalis and other foreigners can take advantage of the opportunities on non-work, but we in turn out there that is doing something like the end I think we should change the emphasis from a little bit of support toward one another because in a book by now collectively. Na Iran tema gutia na jele ka tema to kobalo nom dia ka ki bono ran tingo kada de chini leben latin. So community in ki charili Iran. And I believe na biti ad nesade or biti dia kin nom go point of my community will not be because of me. Idea lo ben nong ran la kin na kila lo support is not tiene to na idea kan. If there are people around that are supporting you, so at the same time, and because when it's loaded by a board, so we partnered with the Red Cross in South Sudan to do fundraising through their. So, already I know Kangaroo working our community and we are helping within our communal setting, but at national level, there is no such thing. And I thought maybe if I can give $50 or $100 to my community, why not give $10 to the National Red Cross? If I give to the Red Cross, I live around but this is what we want. So I can help within my, but I could also help at the national level. So we partnered with the Red Cross to do fundraising at that level using the app. I think if we can share on the screen, there's a little snapshot that I review where you can send money directly to the Red Cross. It doesn't have a minimum requirement. You just have to download the app and then you make your donation directly to the Red Cross. And the proceeds are specifically for the flood because anong masyadong gilo panda like hindi kintina ko wancha burgalo affected, transportation, medications, and essential needs that people actually call quite big man. They got to discuss in the Red Cross. I mean, I have no authority on the Red Cross what to do or what not to do. Like in the needs, the Koi one, Burgalo affected are very common. If there's any funding, fundraising, you guys are in a better place to assess in It's not up to me. I can say that I think I know what people need, but Kochi Red Cross that are on the ground, they know better what is actually needed most. And we left that to them to decide how they should spend the money, whatever amount that is raised. So, kini na kaban ben bajamon we, nanong ra nong kubiti in detail ko dong kubiti, bawa nanong kira de kene, kubijay ke kabiran belwel. But man, this is what I'm primarily focusing on, is to make sure this payment gateway actually works and it serves my community to the best that it can. So you need to learn.
Ay na piat. Shukran garang. Tunong wek we koy dai ku koy ping. We je ping tunong garang. Ke yene ke kor bele we ke apps ci loy develop. Alla be ya part shirkit ci bi alla bi ci daf shir alla bi ci ramal ke jataw e mobile money. So yile ba we to yi taw gandu. Alla ba to yi tam maktam lui. Alla ba to yi chat riai somewhere to chinger. Kuna ja coach? Yes. Okay, you can do that. Pa Garang, how does this work with security? Kujel ya mobile intercom kawen ke tau pani and tau watin. Lebe law ti chirpanya go. Lebe law ti chiduk. Lebe law no one cock apart from big cities ke South Sudan ke tau mana.
Yeah, sure. In my view, Kielo wrote our goal because we look at population centers. They won't talk like integrate anyone. Number two, you mentioned security because by if you're handling money like the key sufficient security, can it be in makamunin wo gam nong ko kine binong sufficient security. Lakini one call one a small town can security keep that good, it's very risky to actually have money agencies there. So Panyagor, there is obviously an agency. Pantigolia, there is an agency. Madin is obviously the capital of Jonglei. There's an agency. Kujawan, Kawun, Pakegwel. Like in some of the smaller towns and small villages, we are not there yet. And of security reason and movement of money, because money has to be moved to these places to be for people to be paid. In the future, we will try to make sure that every populated center should have an agent that can actually pay money to people. But quite vehicle majority of the people actually they're trying to move into the major centers, Mading, or in the case TB walking with it, a lot of people are here, Bandit TB, they are in Mading, and this is where I made an emphasis to make sure that agents, because coin did a lot in those areas. In terms of the telecom on your side, what we've done with partners payment gateway, because the way the banking system works in the world, commercial banks and then there are corresponding banks. In the case of US, like Citigroup is a corresponding bank, Deutsche Bank. So you have the bank that actually they are the big fish, and then you have the commercial bank. Like in the US, your local bank would be considered a commercial bank or a retail bank. They do have corresponding banks. Us as a payment gateway system, we're not really a retail or a commercial bank as such. We're more like a passage where from point A to point B. But what happened? The authentication and the requirement that are actually in the banking system are controlled by the banks. What we do is provide a part it's like a highway, build a highway from and you can drive on. For you
Yeah,
to move
great.
the money from your bank to someone in South Sudan mobile phone, we give you that passage to do that. But we are bound by the same regulations that actually bound the banks. So in the case of the US, we partner with Visa and MasterCard. And these guys, if you can have a partnership, they will let you actually do an integration with their system if you don't meet all the required security. They cannot allow it. So for us to partner with them, it means like all the basic requirements met. In Australia, let's say Commonwealth Bank or NAB or any other bank that is actually operating in Australia, they cannot allow our platform to interact if they're not happy with the security. So in terms of how the money moves and the security of the money is like almost watertight. There's no room for error. And that's why this has been able to come as far as it has come. So longer security at the sender's end, you are very secure. Because this is real time. It means when you conduct the transaction, say you're on your phone, you want to send money, $100, the moment you see on your screen, it says transaction successful, because it's real time, the person in South Sudan or Kenya, Uganda should receive a text message instantly telling them a key for this amount of money. But Kiraloy, occasionally in South Sudan, the messaging system, the bulk messaging system, sometimes is on issue. So you will see the transaction is successful, but on DTT did not receive a text message because of that delay. So what I do normally within Australia or in the US, you guys have the same issue, would be to let I send money, excuse me, 2 hours ago, like I can message you. I mean, I'll know definitely the issue with the delay. So we can do a manual override and somebody will call them. Because you get the message is sent. In the case of South Sudan, the message is sent and then it's followed up with a phone call. Okay, Garang Yak, Garang Chut Deng, Libaban Maktabit. Naira I want to register Libaban Maktabit register. So I can well. If you're registered already, they'll just ask you to come in. So there's a text message and there's a phone call follow up. In the now Uganda or Kenya is only a text message. You just receive a text. But I made it a point because in South Sudan it's still new, people are giving it. So it's important to receive text. And I'll share an interesting example. Like I was doing a test in my friend. We sent I think it was $20. And to collect. So they receive a message. So when we ran you like a teach young telephone you nong messenger you no well I thought you call security control I didn't I saw there's a message that say I didn't know to be anything about playing so I could not answer their phone. So there's a little bit of education. Yeah, because he was not aware to receive money on the phone. Could you buy a yoke? Well, no, it's I'm sorry I can't like it in advance, but we're testing a new system, and I'm message you to key you up. So you might find sometime if your recipient your watching it and they get a message, so I tell people again I'll send you some money. You receive a message which I did not run you up. So people are aware, they're not caught off guard. So we had that small incident. I thought it was funny. I think we were able to rectify it because people are sort of paranoid, and if you see something and they might think it's a scam or something like that, it could be an issue. So in terms of security, we're okay. And we cannot partner with somebody that has no license. The companies that are actually working with us are globally recognized companies. So MTN, Safaricom, because M-Pesa is owned by Safaricom. In Tanzania, MasterCard or Visa card in the US, these are global brands. So even in Junub Sudan, why don't you, I can partner with you, and you let them send them to me. Well, this is not how it works. If you are not licensed by the government of South Sudan to do this, I cannot do it because I work by cop, and you have to have a float as an agent. And just to also add a little bit of how the agent system works, Naira, I won't call us okay. I'm a builder, I want to become an agent for M Group so I can make payment out. We said fine, but for you, for us to make sure that people are secured, you have to make a deposit of X amount of money. It's more like a banking system. When a bank comes to a country, we want to open a bank, the central bank will say, okay, for us to give you a license, you must pay X amount of money as a security deposit. Because you as a bank, what you're doing, you're handling people money. I work like a and if the bank goes bust today and there's no security that the central bank has actually put aside to compensate your depositors in it, I think it's a problem. So it works more like a bank in such a way that an agent has to have a deposit that will balance their float. So worker until they are secure. Now Laura and cheat the recipient, there's money here that we can compensate that person, for example. So anybody can become an agent, but you have to meet that requirement where you can make a deposit to cover for your clients. And the reason we do that is more or less like a banking system. It's just that it's better a mobile phone banking system. So if somebody wants to be an agent in South Sudan, you can do that. But of course, those are the steps you have to go through. And that one is done with the primary reason in mind, and that is to protect you, the person sending money, and the person receiving money. So this is the other thing that I would like to add before it skips my mind.
Very good, very good. Garang Jack, jump in to nong and kor but thi nong we ko ke dai ku nong interest the kor but thi ni we ri ke jam ku ji ten academia e to the wo. Na ye think is something you can do ke ka cha ke ting wen ne fly when in cha town ni alten ale ba download ti nong in Android ke in lo Google apps a bela ben Google Store. Na ye Apple Kaya Ben Yaltino, let me bring it back.
It's App Store. Okay, yeah,
Up,
sorry.
yes.
App Store
So
for iOS. Yep.
yes, you can see it right here. Yenike to tell intina kinakana. Alibating Kwiski, Yenike name of the apps. App Store, non Apple, ku ke Google Play, te yen Android. Pa kakero ke kalibin latin kubating kubacha Angelo registered already a chatting. Ekadang chin wan jatwa yet. So in Kenya, kake M-Pesa, yene ka lebin we to ku fee at $2, right?
Yes, it's 2%. So if you send
2%.
$100, it will cost you $2. Now
2%.
Uganda we charge 1.5. Now South Sudan we charge 2%, and the other countries 2% respectively. And
Very good.
yep.
Very good.
Hey, Garang, thank you. Good presentation. Obviously, Ranchia and Anito Kenya using World Remit. This is an alternative. So I'm gonna download. A South Sudanese business is what we need to support. And you get the key. Can obviously other apps will charge you the same amount. You're not any difference. But the fact of the matter is that the app is getting ding. So why not? So Mabur, thank you for downloading. I will download as well, and I'll try it for Kenya. One quick question. I think Inchi agent explained in a question in it. M-Gruch, I also heard of something called NowPay. But M-Gruch, the telecommunication process between M-Gruch, which are the sponsor, how is that going? I mean, that could be a challenge.
Yeah. Okay. Thank you for bringing that point up. NowPay is actually is the same as M-Grush, but with NowPay, they've not been able to put together a structure, a system that can actually help them to do what M-Grush is doing. Apparently, they are licensed as well, but having a license, not having the resources to actually set up offices and to make sure you provide the liquidity, because the way this system works, there has to be a float. You know, when you send your money, it sits in a bank somewhere before it gets to the person. So if NowPay, for instance, is not able to have the required float and the required infrastructure on the ground, the system to do what M-Grush is doing, it makes it very hard for someone like me to partner with them, because this thing is about providing service. And if you cannot provide a service to the people, there's no point. In terms of how the telecom and M-Grush as a platform, how they work, the whole idea mobile money system is built on the telecommunication network.
Mm-hmm.
When you send a text, when we auto-generate a text, it goes onto your mobile phone. Mm-hmm. Now, M-Grush is not a telecom. M-Grush is a platform. They build a system that runs on another network. In this case, it's like a symbiotic relationship. I can't live without you, you can't live without me. So what we do, you sort of get together. So a platform built by M-Grush rides on Zain. So what happened, the license that was given to Zain, to M-Grush, for some reason, the government of South Sudan decided not to give licenses for this to MTN, even though they have their own inbuilt mobile money system. The same with Zain. They chose to give it to a specific company, which could not do it on their own. So they have to come back and partner with a telecom. So in the case of South Sudan, it's only Zain that has partnered with M-Grush. So the message is that there's the reason why you need to register a Zain number for you to be paid your money. Even though at my end, you can still send on MTN, but the text will say, please go to your nearest mGrush and register a Zain number. So you can still remit onto MTN or Zain, but to receive the actual payment, you need a Zain registration with mGrush. So this is how it has worked. Maybe in the near future, maybe they'll give the licenses to MTN, because in the case of Uganda, Airtel and MTN all have licenses. So it's a matter of preference. Do I want to go with mobile money, or do I want to go, MTN mobile money or Airtel money? It's up to you, you choose. And then it creates a competition whereby, MTN can say, okay, we'll charge this fee, and then Airtel might. So it's actually good for the customer at the end when there's competition. It's not the same situation in our country. And I don't know, in the case of US, Garang, if you send $100 using World Remit, how much are you charged?
$1.99, essentially 2%.
Okay, because here in Australia they charge actually 8%.
Oh, okay.
So it's a huge difference. Yeah, so if you send $100 from here, they'll charge you actually $8 Australian. For us, it would be like $2, which is a big difference between the two. I don't know why they make it cheaper for the US and more expensive for Australia. But what I can do with you guys, because my plan is to be the competition. I don't want to be the cheapest, because it's business. I still want to make money. But if World Remit are doing it at like $1.99 in the US, I could find ways to fiddle around with the numbers. And because it's easy for you, because it's like US is a base currency, so there's not a lot of forex going on. But in the case of Australia, there's like forex. If you send Australia, they will convert and then reconvert, and they're trying to make money in the middle there. It could be a few cents of every dollar, but it adds up. So for us, our business is obviously not forex. So we try to let's focus on building, because this is a volume sort of business base. The more people that use it, the more successful the business is likely to be. So let's not be too expensive. And forex is not our business. So let's not factor in the forex thing where, like Amal and Dapil, and they're trying to. So at most, for your audience to know this, it should not be more than like 0.01 or 0.02 of a cent if there's any discrepancy in the forex within the app. So this is how it works. But I'm glad that you brought up that issue with World Remit US, because it's good to know that they're actually charging what you've just mentioned. Because in Australia it's a different story. I don't know about Canada. And I know Ranting on this show from Canada, please share with us your experience regarding the World Remit. I would love to learn how they do it from that end.
So
we'll see how we can address it. Yep.
There's a question for you on the screen, but before you can answer that question, try to explain the reliability of the telecom itself. Zain, how reliable is their system? If there was a blackout, what happened?
Okay, now that's an interesting question. In terms of like coverage, just to give you a little bit of history, before the crisis and before Vivacell sort of got out of the scene, Zain had the largest coverage in South Sudan. At the time, I remember they had about 365 BTSs across the country. So in terms of outreach, they had more BTSs per square kilometer than any of the other network operators. However, guys like Vivacell and Gemtel were concentrated in Equatoria, where there was more population. So, but what happened now in South Sudan, because the remoteness of some of the places, sometimes the network can come down to Manwanti Bible, or actually some of the BTSs might be affected. There was an issue like vandalism, whereby some of the base stations, they actually run on solar. Sometimes somebody can sort of, they can go and steal the batteries or whatever, and you lose connectivity. But that does not affect the security of your money, because what the network does is actually to notify you that there is money, but they don't have access to that money.
Correct.
So yeah, so if you don't get a message, as I mentioned before, and then somebody will say, okay, and you would work around, yeah, can you? I can get on the dashboard and look the number around and we can do a manual override where somebody, because the system did not, maybe the system generated a message, but the network had failed and could not deliver, we could just try to reach them like locally if the network is restored. So in terms of the security of the money, the network is there for communication, basically, and identification, because your mobile number become your bank account number, if you understand what I mean. Right. But the money, the security of the money is not affected by the lack of network. What is affected is communication.
Yeah.
And yeah, so can I go and answer a question that John called?
Yeah. Go ahead.
Yeah. M Grush has been, because M Grush is the last mile partner front on the ground in South Sudan. Quixi, on the other hand, which is where I'm from, we do the international side of remittances. So we launched almost 3 months ago with trials. As for MGRISH, they've been trying to put the system in place for quite some time, a lot longer than that. But now it's more like founded and the systems are in place and everything is moving. But for us as Quixi to actually start sending to South Sudan, we started about 3 months ago. I mean, again, it's the same relation, because in business, you partner with people that do things you can't do yourself. Like MGRISH don't have the ability to do the international remittance side of things. We as Quixi, we don't have the ability because we don't have the license to pay people on the ground. So we come together with MGRISH being the last mile person on the ground, as handling the international gateway, and of course Zane being the one carrying the communication for MGRISH. So this is the relationship that we have.
In that, Garang
no, I actually covered all the questions I had.
Okay. So, yeah, possible to non Grush or Belui partner can other network or South Sudan allow?
No, MGRISH has a right to partner with any telecom in South Sudan, and the case in question is MTN. And the reason why MTN has not partnered with them, I cannot answer for you, but there are obviously a reason why they couldn't. I can only speculate why they haven't done that, why MTN hasn't agreed. And again, it's speculation. I'm not speaking facts here. It could be because, they're probably waiting for their own chance to be given a license, because it's something they specialize in doing themselves, and they've proven it, in other countries that they can do it. So I think I can also speculate that MGRISH maybe approached MTN and MTN said no. So I can't, but they can do it. You only get a license. So it could be. But to answer your question, MGRISH has the right to partner with any telecom on the ground as a platform.
Any telecom that is available.
Yep.
To receive their service.
To partner with them. Yep.
Okay. So, can I just centered around mobile telecom for the communication reason? Because of the network problem. Until big do to non wuni yen to chin and let be to. Now, system which ya back kakango be chilo big la one there. So, I can any effect. So that means security is good.
And just to make one clarification regarding the network downtime, because with the telecom companies, a voice when you talk to someone is a real-time communication. So the downtime sometimes, they will try their best to make it as short as possible. So sometimes network a little bit and the user may not even notice, unless you are about to make a call and you realize, and then you realize the network is gone. But there's an intermediate where network a little bit more for a few seconds and you come back. It could be a technical upgrade. It could be something else that is ongoing, but they don't last that long. As for the messaging system, sometimes it could delay a little bit longer. But usually the tricky part with the mobile money is this. Once, for example, Kenya, once you send money, because I would like to also highlight this issue because it's a question that people ask. sometimes you might actually send money, but you put in the wrong number. You'll about telephone word by 1 digit, and then it goes to somebody else. So the problem here, once the transaction is completed and you made like a mistake, you meant to put like 17 or you put 2, whatever the number is, it's very hard for that transaction to be reversed because okay, he might contact the local telecom or the embassy say, oh, you send me this and it's not okay, I didn't expect this money. It's very rare to find someone like that. But the moment the transaction is completed and the money has gone to that number, it's very hard to change. And what we've done with our app is actually make sure that there are multiple steps where you can confirm the number and the amount. Because once you make a mistake, in South Sudan, money is still okay. I can be in time, deliver them in time. Now, can wagam, number I can reverse a transaction. But I need to make it clear in countries like Kenya, Uganda. Now, I teach you. I will be did not come to me. But it's very rare in Kenya, Uganda to find the same attitude. So it's always important to double check the number, please, because it's the only. Once it goes onto that number, I'm very powerless in reversing that transaction because it becomes their money. They're controlling it. I'm no longer in control of it. They're controlling it. Kill on their and their phone. But for South Sudan, because we have to text you and then call you to come in and collect the money. If it's the wrong person, the number is wrong, I can do something and reverse the transaction. So I'll be called for me now. So always check the number that you send the money to.
Thank you. That's a good point. That's a very good point.
Yeah, somebody actually displayed something on the screen and I missed it. It was about the charges. I couldn't. It just sort of did that. Right. Put it up again.
Yeah, I think
Dengerable. Yeah.
So I'm sure viewers.
Okay, this is a Canadian one. Okay, so in Canada it's $2.99, and the US, so it's fairly much the same if the Canadian dollar is less than the American dollar. Okay, that makes sense. Yeah.
Actually, they're not Australia.
Then he's in Australia. Yeah. Okay. No, he's converting the. Okay, no, in Australia it's actually $2 flat for Uganda and Kenya. For Kenya and South Sudan, for Uganda it's like $1.50, $100. So maybe he's doing the conversion from the US to the Australian, but in Australia would be $2 Australian, not US. Then, so we actually charge as per the local currency. So in this case, it will be $2 Australian to send $100 to South Sudan. In the case of the US, it will be $2 US. But if anybody is from Canada, please let me know what the charges are on World Remit, because I need to recalculate and see how we can work with these numbers.
Perfect.
Yeah, there is a living example in the Garang Bull at the same time.
that would never happen with me. Okay, I think. Then what did you do? You sent the wrong number, or what happened with the World Remit?
Most likely the wrong number.
Oh, okay.
Most likely. I think
it will. Yeah. So within the app, within Fixie, actually, I think I put in, I think, about 4 or 3 steps where you do the verification. And the emphasis is on the number and the amount, because sometimes, like, when you're typing it, you might put, like, you meant to say 115, you might put 150, and because I can't ban people that I don't know what you want to do. And then so I'll ask you to check the amount and check the number, because sometimes you might make a split-second decision or an error, but you have the chance to reverse it before you commit. And the confirmation stages are there to actually make sure that you are doing what you're meant to be doing, and not just like another side that sometimes happens. Yeah, or somebody might want to put 20 and they put $200, and then they continue. So I'll ask you, please confirm the amount and confirm the number, so that confirmation process. The idea is try to eliminate the possibility of sending to the wrong person or sending the wrong amount.
Digit miss.
Yeah, this is a common issue, incorrect digit. Yeah, that can, and once it's gone, it's gone, really, because this is real time. It's very hard to get that back. Yeah.
Okay.
And by the way, normally you may not even know that you made a mistake. Lobby ran and then that's when if you go back and check your history, and by then it's too late.
It's already gone.
Yeah, it's gone. So it's very hard to pick these mistakes when they happen, because when you miss one digit, to your eyes or to your mind, actually bang is that you made that error. A job and will find that the key ran to would walk in, then want a little bit of banyan, and then you're trying to follow up. This is where you realize that you made an error, and by then it's history. Yeah.
Ian, for in case of South Sudan, KM Grush,
Yep.
Uganda, MTN,
or Airtel, MTN
or
and Airtel.
And Airtel, both are in
Airtel.
Uganda.
Yeah, both are in Uganda, and they're both licensed, so Airtel Money or MTN Money. So within the app, you will see like orange color and a red color. Orange is MTN and red is Airtel. So it means like whichever number that you have registered with any of those networks, you will still get your money. Yeah, and for Kenya, it's only one telecom. So yeah, so the MTN and Airtel, but within the app there will be two red and orange. Orange colors that you will see to say that the two networks are within the app. For Kenya, it's only M-Pesa. For South Sudan, it's M-Grush. And I don't know if anyone of us ever sent money to Somalia, but I'm trying to, because it's a big diaspora as well. It has to be hot mode. Yeah, based in Mogadishu.
Thank you, Garang, for this. This is a good service.
Thank you.
I hope viewers, if anyone has more questions, please ask.
Hey, Ian, I can question Chebanial appreciation. Yana katau. Nongkoi ni are na kalo road. Yes, aware. Let me bring that to the screen. Garang, you can take a look at that.
Yeah. Okay. No. Thank you so much for bringing this up, because it's important for me to also make another clarification. The recipient on the other end doesn't need the application. So sometimes people might think, okay, do they need to download the app? No, they don't. What they need is a mobile money registered number. That is all. The app is actually for the person sending money, because it will be connected to your MasterCard or Visa card or your bank account to provide that sort of remittance platform. But for the recipient, you don't need to download the app. mGrush is actually just a name for a service. So you don't need to download the app for mGrush. It's like just, with the M-Pesa in Kenya, you just need to have a number. You just need to have, sometimes you might have the M-Pesa application in Kenya for different services. For mGrush, it might be a case in the future, but for now, you don't need it. You don't need that one at the moment.
Very good.
Yeah.
So, wache go lago ping ko wache die now mana daga yen service kirka agwe a call John call maluk yana kana yelwele yen work made in ka ya lo use like many other people chimana garang awen ben we to Kenya. I'm sure the Lang family Kenya. When a wave yana ka ya lo use, and I've been using it forever. Maybe twice, 3 times a month or so. It's worth trying. So I can good something to know, something to try. To know where with you, we call it Tawutan, Junba Sudan, Kenya, ku Uganda, Kekato majority of Koyakoti, ku always we are serving them. I can call book or dieting, ku book team. And let's try it out. Chimana, look at Somali. What do they do? It's sort of can queen can a lot in going to thin. You know,
this is where it all starts.
Yeah.
And only that, you don't have to drive long distance. You can do it in your own living room.
Within the comfort of your own home. You could be in your car, you could be just enjoying your telly. Whatever you're doing is just like in the palms of your hand. So basically, it's about convenience as well as cost. Yeah, so cost effectiveness and convenience, and the fact that, and one more thing, we're the only one actually that are doing it in South Sudan. There's no any other service that actually connects international remittances to people on the ground. So it's something that we could be proud of. And as Bangladesh said, Somali, they can start like here and then tomorrow. It's about collective support. So again, I would love everyone that is watching this show to give it a try and give me a feedback if there are any in-app issues that you have, or if there's any usability problem that you come across. Because when you're developing a business idea or whatever you come up with, 50% might come from you, but 50% is from the actual users. It's from the customers, because the feedback that you get inform how you sort of improve what you're doing. So I might have an idea and I say, but until like someone like you or the user tell me, hey, Garang, this might have sound okay to you in your mind, but this is not like this. So the idea is like users' feedback is very important in actually fixing what needs to be fixed and to make it more better. Because for me as an individual, for the programmers or the other business development partners, we can only do so much, but a lot will come from the user themselves and how we can improve it. So anyone that has tried it out, please do let us know what you think.
Thank you, Ben.
Good. Pa yen ke yen kan no we ko ke dai ko ke ngor ga to we chuku ke lech we jiping to non Garang Chut. What information he has presented is valuable. You need to try, use it, and let him know, and let all of us know. Chan, this is a community stuff. Na le lo neng le network le real ku ba wo ba ke ga to pa go chi man chi network pya do na wo jam pa go ka why not? Le ran jil pa liao lo dam pa go ran jil pa ker lo dam pa go ran jil le pok tap wer nyol lo dam pa go ti yen network pa go yen re la war ka won ko ti chero lew. But because of network issue, kekene is something to try to non agents keta with it okay close premises, so we should use that. Kenya, Nairan M-Pesa will use M-Pesa can use other services. M-Pesa keta at that end, but will jortan chan bigla to ache M-Pesa. I companies pay kaganong you wave, kanong you will remit, kaganong whatever is out there. Moving of money from the United States, from Canada, from Australia to those locations. This is happening from our home. So let's try it. We could die, ben jobela lapi. Pa message. Chojang yai, chojang garang, chojang Iran in the community, but a chak of the ping man. Yenanga kana buku share. Yen information when in Jabay, who Kabelon ran Chinaben. And maybe she be our last time to present this to non and upgrade to job element. Kayin Labang or do chen or go jamtin. A valuable coin both ways. So can in a kayen. Pa Kabaloy, to non wake weapon the tree ku koi ke die ke pingaman, wobenang another show shortly. Peter Mamir. How safe is this? We want to try. Owner. He can check the system. He can let you know. Where yin yin garang. Kan.
Okay. When you ask how safe is a system, because there are two ends to the story. There's the international part of the story, and there's like the on-the-ground part of the story. So as I mentioned before, in terms of like security, safety of your money, us as an application, we sit between like the banks and the telcos on the ground, or the platform like mGrush. So in terms of how money is moved between these banks, a lot of it is done by the bank, also just to provide a conduit. So in terms of like how safe it is, your money you cannot get, the only time your money could be lost is what we touched on earlier, if you send the wrong number. And if that money has already been paid out I have no power to bring it back because Akira and done already. But the money that has not yet been paid out, and you luckily enough, you let me know in advance, it can be fixed. But the only time that you lose money, it's towards the wrong number. But other than that, it's quite safe and it's reliable and it's efficient. And as I mentioned before, if the system is not built to be secure enough, you cannot partner with MasterCard, you cannot partner with Visa card, you cannot partner with all the banks in Australia. So the fact that these are the people that we're working with, it should give you some sort of like assurance that it is safe. So current, like the thing that I can control in terms of like fees, because now they have control over the fees, it can decide and like what do we think is reasonable to charge is within my control. Things like, Forex, as I mentioned before, I don't want to be in the business of making money from Forex because that's not what we do. Even though a lot of like the remitting, the money transfer agencies, they do that, I was trying to make it as minimum as possible. And Mabir, you mentioned that you use Wave. I think there's another person that told me the same story, and they told me Wave, they charge nothing. Is that the same experience, can you, Mabir?
I believe I can chatting ban out of that until the other end.
Yeah,
but
exactly.
I
think yeah.
I love me to long to.
Yes, exactly. The reason I'm mentioning that, there's no such thing as free lunch. So if you send money and Wave doesn't charge you anything, it means Wave and Safaricom have an agreement. So when the recipient in Kenya receives money, they are charged a fee. And then from that fee, it will be split on a revenue share agreement between Wave and Safaricom. So there's always a way they make money. But to you, it will look like you're not being charged anything. But in reality, at the other end, there's a deal going on. So between Wave and Safaricom, they made an agreement to revenue share. So whatever they charge the recipient for withdrawal, they would have their share in that. So you're paying for it indirectly anyway. But I think for Wave is a very smart way of doing it. But we cannot all have the same business model.
Yeah. There's another request from Peter Mahmed.
Okay, yeah. Yeah, say, is it said like M-Pesa? Because I have received from it. If I'm getting the question right, the person is saying they receive money from M-Pesa.
No, they receive money from Iran. When how safe is it? Goran can do Iran good example. Manadi and a will watch a cake down from
okay, I get it. I understand now. Okay. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, I understand. Yeah. So there you have it. Yeah. Yeah, I am. Maybe you can share my contact in Peter Mamea. So it's fine. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
There you go. So any other question, guys? The next hour or so, another show from South Sudan. Jarut ni yokola. Kang abela junub. Ato junub ato juba chika goj barabijolo ajede. Panyagur. Pa kene nanong eyewitness. Okay, but what is being bought. Material, okay, chike bay, food, medicine, and what have you. Kajwe keto, makanat, kayenga pew meat, kake, abadil jalbari shoya from Juba, le T area, ablo panyagur. Koja wan, okay, che loy den, chikaloy, below tui, including diar, big kaken, big kegla la jor, kegla ler payamat, keche distribution den, chikaloy, chikoy ken coin by it and Pakane is waiting. And local talk by day in ten to kin ke go ben gala buku tiok for a short time ku dukutin to chike contact to chike and bay just letting you know kene yana ka kar ba share kana week garang people are very appreciative of you achanta this kind of idea chabe nial is quite an ideal and it's going to help a lot of people ne wana ke bika ga tautin so ke religion na kene ngi yong loy road kachin unless be bay into the open that now chingi na non ko chi bi jo lo use ka chi bi use chan chi liu but anong different ajade platform in lui ka use kuye na tawo kan na alternative to help you and help your brother ka why not, this is what it is yene ka M-Pesa in am gurush no long to but kay will move tan ka yi wall remit ka yi wave ka yi whatever out there again change ke ka chir kweski yen jam wo kan yen so ko e ke maybe anon ko jam kan ke chi ke nyot chan kan ga chi ben kem ai a chi alo oh okay na yeto jinu ke yen to yen aki now you know ke yen to yen aki all you need to do na Android ke Google Play yen ka le yintin ababe nyal na ye tien Apple ke ngade nga le yintin choja be nyal tan mar
Be an app store.
I know question here where to teach, but while you answer that, and ngade
Yeah.
babe be nyal tan to let you
Yeah.
all.
Yes. We're actually my business in South Sudan were more at a corporate level, so they were not really helping the people on the ground as much as what I'm doing now. I was in the satellite communication business for a little while, and I did some. I tried publishing, if some of you guys might have heard, and I did that initially on. I had I was given a contract to do data collection for the military at the time, and of course, politics came into play, and that was taken away from me and given to an Indian person. So I will not really consider that as a success for me, or that it had benefited my community. But some of the things that I tried in South Sudan did not really trickle down to the community level the way I would have hoped. And the environment we're quite one is not really conducive. Is very difficult. So what I had actually done in the past, in the past to help my community, can get was to, I think naira ngai mabil chipping one and bind that that I had committed myself to purchase an ultrasound machine for antenatal services by the Deepan again. Like Kirot Belly, because the hospital was not ready and the people that were to use it were not ready. This was from me as a personal contribution to my community, and that commitment is still there. So, just to answer your question short, aware, there was nothing that I personally feel actually helped my people directly. At the time, it was more like up there in the air, and it did not really trickle down to the community. But for this one, I do feel like it might do that where others have failed.
Okay.
Right. Hey, and Mabir, Ube Garang Buku later to Kiche Bay to the community. Garang, the mission of our community in the United States is to advance. We want to help ourselves, and also we want to help our people back home. Part of helping ourselves is what you're trying to do, and also helping our people back home in the sense of sending, the little support that we give without spending too much. So your presentation today is in the hearts of what we believe is the mission of our community. Economic advancement is sharing information. Also is having our people in businesses, entrepreneurial practices, such as the ones you're doing. I'm sure people within the United States will see the apps in develop, something that we depend on other people for, is now in our community. So a part of the appreciation to you for trying and for doing this on our behalf, South Sudanese generally, and even Africans, because this apps is not limited. It's not limited to South Sudanese. It's pretty much anyone who wants to send money to Kenya, Uganda, or South Sudan in this for this matter. So I would encourage you to spread your news or your message to different communities, African communities in Australia. We will try our best to share what we can in the United States. We are proud of you. This is our product, specifically as South Sudanese, but then it's gonna benefit others, other Africans, diasporas living anywhere outside of their countries. So can the accolades and the kudos to all the stuff that you've done. This is a great success, and I'm hoping another young person who's into IT or banking or any sort of entrepreneur spirit is watching you and knows that Garang Chut Deng tweet, and he has this knowledge, and why not? Why can I not, talk to him as a mentor, or even, some sort of try to imitate what he's doing, not in a way of trying to copy the apps, but honestly in having the courage to do what you're doing. That is why we have the community, and that's why we have this community in the United States. I'm sure that's the reason people have tweet community in Australia, in Canada, as well as other South Sudanese communities that are in the West. They are meant for stuff that you're doing so that we can link each other, so that we can impart what we learn, so that we can mentor our generation, so that we can tell people that this technology, this knowledge, learning is not specific to the Westerners. Us South Sudanese can have this thing too. We can build apps. So I'm sure Mabir will tell you, and everybody else who's watching knows that we do actually can build apps. These app things are not hard to do because we have the knowledge, we have the capability. And I appreciate you for doing this, and I'm sure our community appreciates you for doing this. I will be the first one to sign up for your apps because it's a South Sudanese app. And that's what everybody should know. It is our apps, and we should communicate it to other Somalians, to Ugandans, to anybody else who wants to use it. So that's the message I want to give you. I want to say thank you so much. You are welcome back to our community anytime. Anytime you want to bring any other idea, or anyone listening who has other ideas, please come to this communication medium and share your ideas just as Garang has done. And we will try to support you by supporting what you're doing, by joining onto your platform, by just being a partner to what you're trying to do. And that's what we can give. And you've given us a lot. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Garang. Interlake for Mobile and the audience, we like it for having this sort of platform to share ideas. And as you articulated, the whole point is to come together and to encourage one another and see how we can sort of uplift each other. So I think we're with the and I'm proud to be part of the team as a community member. And it's important. I know, ideas, if they're in your head, they're only ideas. They can only become a reality when you bring them out into the open and you share with people. So I would encourage people out there that have any business initiatives or ideas to at least share them with people, because you never know where you're going to get help. So and we should not let ideas die in our head. Like it on around, I'm going to share it, and who knows. So I like it. We're happy for providing the platform for me to have this presentation and to articulate what the service is all about. And who knows, we could come up with other products in the future and see if there are needs that we need to address. And it is a continuous struggle, and it's a work in progress at the same time. So I've failed many times. Believe me, I've tried everything inside. I've done it all, but I've never given up. So I think the important thing is to keep trying, and not give up, because it's a struggle. It's everyday struggle, and if you're in business or whatever profession you're in, sometimes you keep creeping a gap, but it's not the end of the world. Now, where you can do more things. My message basically is, don't let a couple of failures sort of deter you from continuing. Because people so we have to progress and keep getting up and move. Yeah.
Perfect. Shukran. Yo Lelu Nongakir, she did a good job.
Yeah. Is she on the show, by the way? Yeah,
Oh,
she's the
yeah.
one who connected me with you. So actually, my thanks goes to her. Yeah,
Mhm.
as well. Yeah.
Actually, Akir yen ga lu an approach ku jelo ka nang apps chi garang chi biol ten, and he's trying to work it out. Information bela bi di. How is that going to happen? Ku ka kor be message be in community because big ngi ran bela choose. Be lu kan yen good for him. No, if not, okay. Well, okay. Why not? Let Garang talk to me. This is how this came to be. So Akir did her
Yeah,
best.
deserves a big round of applause. Yep.
Yeah. So
Yeah. Yeah.
yeah, keep your network open and always keep connecting. Try
Yeah.
whatever it takes, as long as it doesn't hurt anything, you or anybody else. Keep trying. That's the best we can do. Thank you, Garang. In Chugulet, but good night. Other time, your information, Abu Chalabi, ku nanong any question anytime, let us know. Anong koi kok, lui message keke pending, ben. Business base ku ka bu ku tin chan yom no ko a business non ai bai kin pa le be pir without business kina kuma kretira ko ku pir ko eto no ko kin ko e ka bai pa kana very good in chuku lej ku ba jana good night wo be ngadi bu ku bay be wedan won ci dong be betol to arwe ku bu ku jotok from here to ken message in the South Sudan the ken go ben shukran jidan
Thank you,
Nyali
Ken.
Kewe. Yeah. Thank
pedare
you.
good night. Welcome, Panan. Chỉ cái đấy chỉ nhớ là ngay
Thank
cha
you.
lôi cha cho cái phiệt. Chỉ yên hard time. Cái ngay đấy cái technology. Ấy yên phiệt. Yên bây giờ ngồi du tin bác closing when chỉ cái chuyện đường way by where do na when bây giờ be du tin. Thì nó we coi đai của coi cái ping. Thor we chỉ cái vấn đề của chỉ đi cái trong người. Cái chỉ bài cái nhà. Chỉ cái ngay đi. Chỉ cái level when. Ku cái chỉ cái cái chú ku cái ping. Amen ci jo du tina closing yen ka biyen shukran jidan tun yen ka won to ke yen aki
Mabiura dana ngole baya jipane tiwiri Tenga garanga gagalui bagwena jang mandi Kena garanga jaga denga bara jabonya munjolo denga pupoli Jolo bol wajibangi lakitwi Wati wajibangi lakapana Kati wajibangi lakitwi Wati wajibangi lakapana Kati wajibangi lakitwi Wati wajibangi lakapana Kati wajibangi lakitwi
yen ke yen aka luoy da ka tawtin aka ko ka bu ke report ne ta tin be ben ba den shukran jidan yimbi jo ben tin ba wedu batol ba
Okay. Yeah. I think tiếng cái anh mà nó.
yen good yen clear
Okay, thank you. Ấy anh cái tràn đấy. Với chả cái bề mót. Với lại cái này tay em chắc cái lỗi. Cái anh cái bà lỗi với thì cái bánh. Cái chỗ là weird kiểu chứ quý là ye ra nó bên này nè là cha man cái việc ấy ra nó bên này có ra chân cái tin. Achan bela lom ni ji ya kube support beloy ba laj be gam gora an beloy na go ni mara ke pet ka wen ya lo ko la loy duna chira na bena chimi pio aguta wer cha ka lo ki we diar chon nga kut na kuma duni te ka jare na wa met pio ni en ne ke wa ya ngi ke to tik tin ben kin ke kong lui pel ke to tik tin te ka ni ar ke pet kutika ni ar ke pir kutika ni ar ke victim chan tik ne ka nang no met kutigene ka nang nomoy kutigene ka nang nom koy niop ayen ka ya kere ya pio warit kan ting an na no kudu ne ngi diar ka ya ngi kana cha cái am loy e kene tung de lay duan ba gam we cái ada na ku jela ku ji cha ka kwa ne na kuma duan e cha ku ji to tin ai riel da kuma duan ai ayo kuma duan a chu ku gam ku ye pes ke tri wo blu ni en ana neng ran cái tin den cha la ta ne num chima ne men tin ne wen jam kene we ka be bay ku ka ku ko ni ada na le ra ko neng ne kene ko ka pa nya go ka chi ko nya ret e ki kene e tung da ka pet ku jela ka ju pet to tin ka dia a le chen ke idara de lo ala bu ma nyok na kut ka dia loy pet cha ka loy amir ka pet ye ne kene ye ran cái tin den ki ta ne pi wa ye ring to no we ka chan be ban cha peng ku bla bi wa le du na ka we chi ka gwang ni we la bai we chi ka toy ba chi ka gwang ni ton chi gwang na ma che be dier ka be tor ay ko ra
Indeed.
ka be tor aman
Thank you.
we ka bai tui we chi tui ma chi we gam chan ba ka la
Thank
tar
you. Thank you.
wa dien da kar kan
We drop.
Hana pare mari.
Aywa, welcome. Welcome back.
aja ku ke je ne wa yang ne la lakini chi tyo ka tak ya anang ko ke chi
Yes.
anang ko chi na lew to won ku lel ka wa ba ta tere wa ku wa ko ra chan bu ku cho du na kor bu ku a kor bu ku le open aba ke
Mm.
glin ke ari nga chan ke dang kor be a kor be te again ran chi
Mm.
lew to ke ne my young brother e bolar wan ya ka chi lew to 100 ban men jam ni pinam ran ro a cholo do de kwir e man nyang kir biur bong de biur mauder e nya de first class ku ke ting na nyang da chi lew to 100 a cholo do de kwir ran de dia ka
Network ay young in wala.
Nyana mangar dongwe. Mana nyana majgoro. Big production. Dengan garang gagal luyu baguna yang mandi kena garang garang jangan dengan garang cabanya muncul dengan kubol.
Welcome back.
ka dang chi re la ra ja ka dang akwai an pek wana abu nga wer ruot man yar de ngakil
Oh, okay.
akor ba ka gar ben ma bi chan ka dang ko go te ma cha ka ba ka dang apet
Okay.
abu
Lot wenga na ken ka ngadi bare ni le bangori chal ngor ka gar ke. An
ayen
ken ka da can follow. Chaka ngadi ter wen lui wotin ka can follow apet. Lot wenga.
okay ayen abu nga wer man yar de ngaton chi le to ko $50 ran dang amon yang bak mana la kira ganya ma piora gany ke nya no un kam a chen le utong $100 a jo deng ma bi ajo de ngabut ke mano mabiora kuen garanga kuen kele $100 yar de nga kenyo koche mana gwen chul bula gwer enya na uta juang na ra kele utong $50 ke ko che na yen ka ken na lel ke wolui ke tapo chu lo chat ko yi la wo ya to ar ya ka ba ke gar pin ko na ngot ke đá ka ba ngot ke abu ja ngot ke japu tol te kine pin be ru no ar ne ta ada we cha ke le cha rit wa te network na che ni yong ore pa wa kwa yong ore ku ka ngi pa wa man gan nong wifi ja ku ke dang te na che ja ja got ko lakini na che pya da ngot ke chin mi kila
Indeed.
ya we cha ke le cha jam pya gang ja ke na kan pin ku ka chứ người ta là khi này làm bà cái nhang của cái già cái
Apiet yine mop ne apanya biora pa ke ne team de ama tin ke kai ko ke team de emergency che wede ke che loy pass tan che le mat ke ato che no wo ka to tre loy ku ko ye ke a to tre loy ya de ne ran tung che ben so loy che loy ti ke jare chukron jidan kana buku jo total na nong show loy kum ya te ke kala bu ngot ke choku che loy road yana ka
Bill, let me add one thing here. I know Ato in chocolate it, Malay network in loy. Messing in Jabay, support in Jagam Makam the tree, community the tree in the United States. Way, but Kidi in Jabay no work at it. A culture. Will juggle really the RP. Kaka Abdum for the next generation. You can take a reference. When in message at Jabay, we just support Jabay. A legend on in, ku TV kine although Louis in the call Ben back. But message but show it again for us. Community diet then man when you more garang. It's a land walk our mission the book or coin. Buku coin. Kun was economic advancement. Buku Louis navigate in the American system. One. Second, to not lose our culture. It can be part of the mission here then. You will that we must preserve our culture who starts it means what to quite a 3 years ago in the US and Canada. Ko quite a man you chua but do but quite good to man a conoma burunja a conatoma burunja will idea loy I example you can loy within families. I bought that cake I could cool walk it and kakeka later community that twin in chocolate ready for what you're doing. Why are carve bed back if possible, no mean. Ba messing kin ba be choli ken network chi lui. Can you indicate the banana kaitin which a later ready did? Yarko I appear to I don't gabadong abi mi ke twi ke ya ker na tam net. Which a later ready. Why you carve bed back, but be jam based on that cultural preservation. You know, loida. Google or doing what Japan North America. And how can we maintain this? Nice to meet you, Athok. Hey, Nubia, I think that will actually froze on her, so.
Yeah,
thank you
actually frozen. Yeah. So kene ka ba ko ja en kan ci ban ci lele la zamandu ken tok yin law na charot be gwirtani ke ka ci don way ni ko ka ba ke be pap ni ko yin ci ben fa were ci dir ku network ci convenience ci gama pet ken lui kan yin fa ala buku betem na non ka buku ko loy mi ate ku ye belabo yile bangori ben ku ba wedu ba betol mi ate yene ke le buku le la ka ti chero la le ba den
yene cái tan da ki we cha ke le ja ret ku an be lai ba le chan kana chen ka dang ret ku kai agaw ka ku lo ya kor blo ka la tuen chi kan ko ba ke kyol we tang chi ne ali wir chan ban ro be kor bara kor bala la wa ka ba jabe tin ko ci ba ay telephone kana ci wo yongare e yen ne ke tande kana ci te ban ba ge tin we cha ke le ku ne ala jabe to kana we lo ci we lo ra chan pyo mer. Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Bye.
Have a good night.
Yeah.
Hey, and Mobile, I believe drop one on hurricane coming toward us about 1 hour from now. It's gonna hit.
Oh.
So,
Okay, yeah, Napit. Take good care of kids and yourself as well.
okay.
Family. Yeah. Keep your eyes on. Che kawin ku chiro loy ba den di chi ko jinu chi ka wo chol nong zaman chu ku ba yo yana ka, but it looked like the time is running out of us.
Okay.
Yeah.
Let me know. I'm going to network the then I'll come back.
Apia. Yeah.
Thanks.
And we twi lo da chu ku loy. Thank you Athok Aruey Yak. Thank you so much ne lo jalo ni kola. Thanks to Garang Chut Deng the presentation chaloy ku product che bay chi nyol wo ka chu ku ting. So benen ko ba ko kon pa kana abako ja ya. Abako ja ya. Fa wo ka wo bi jobe du tin shortly. Ti chi zaman ti chen wo ga lao ti chi wo ko ko ya won ke yo ko lwel ti chi ke ben ke wo bi du tin ku bu ku repon ken bu ku loy. Na kero lew ke zaman daga dit kala twen ko bu ngor ko ber ku yo but wo ba sas man bu lo loy ku contact wo bu ngor wo be du nong in zaman yin nga yen che wer chi lo ni United States but bay ko ke chimani yi Africa ku Canada ngor ke thinam ba den I mean isum shinde Australia and on the same time na cho ko yo we ke 7 hours or 6 or 8 less than that could be fa ke yen apiet wo bi jo be rompe ni tar ku we ba ke pol for now we nang 3 hours na le kana we twinda ku lo apiet da cho ku chata de. Thank you so very much wo bi jo be yo la just wait. Thank you. Bye now.